Bicol University, or BU, the premier university in the Bicol region, Philippines, is a SUP Level 4 institution by Department of Budget and Management, or DBM standards, established on June 21, 1969 following the passage of Republic Act 5521. It has 17 colleges spread across its 7 campuses in the provinces of Albay and Sorsogon, with the College of Law and the College of Medicine as its latest addition, and recently the Doctor of Dental Medicine and Doctor of Veterinary Medicine. As of latest count, Bicol University has 82 AACUP accredited academic programs, with 3 programs accredited at Level 4. It is also a Level 3 accredited institution whose reputation as the premier university in the Bicol region is rooted in its consistent top-level performance in various licensure examinations, becoming recognized as top-performing school in accountancy, social work, midwifery, nursing, education, and engineering. BU has been given its seal of excellence as CHED recognized Center of Excellence in Teacher Education, Center of Development in Nursing Education, Center of Development in Fisheries Education, and Center for Higher Education Research. Its commitment toward national thrust and directions and in meeting the needs of its community beyond the university borders is reflected in its programs and projects as base agency for Bicol Consortium for Health Research and Development, or BCHRD, and base agency for Bicol Consortium for Agriculture, Aquatic, and Natural Resource Research and Development, or BCARD. Over the years, it has earned its place as one of the 22 leading state universities in the Philippines. Bicol University has also been recently rated as 3-star institution by the Quacquarelli Simmons, or QS Intelligence Unit, the independent compiler of QS World University Rankings. Bicol University has expanded its linkages to Europe and Southeast Asian universities.
Good morning, everyone. So before we officially start our program today, a reminder to the link that was shown to you, and if ever, maybe we can also share the link in the comment box. Okay. A few reminders also, please keep your microphones muted unless you're called to answer a question or to give a comment. Please change your name starting with the acronym of your affiliation, your first name and then your last name, and then always identify your affiliation and your complete name before asking questions or giving comments. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and esteemed participants, welcome to this Action Research for P and In-Service Teachers webinar by the Bicol University College of Education, Project Ripples, Research and Extension Office, and the Association of Local Colleges and Universities, or ALCO 5. This activity aims to develop the competence of pre-service teachers and research instructors in conducting action research. We are honored to have you all here today on this academically enriching occasion. So before we begin our program, let us rise for the Philippine National Anthem, to be followed by the opening prayer, which will be presented through an audio-visual presentation.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Kayang magiliw, kailas ng sinakanan, alam ng puso, sa dikit mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, magiting, sa mandulupin, di ka pasisingil, sa nagatak
Right, so we would like to acknowledge Professor Apple Rubio and the BKED students for sharing the AVP for the opening prayer. So to commence our program, we are privileged to have distinguished individuals who will deliver their welcome messages. So first, let us welcome Dr. Jovert M. Ofrasio, the President of the Association of Local Colleges and Universities in Region 5, who will also provide his welcome message. Please give a warm welcome to Dr. Ofrasio.
Good morning, everyone. So thank you so much for having me in this particular webinar on action research. So to our Dean of Education, Ma'am Lorna, and to the project team Ripple's team leader, Doc Mars, and other members of the Buse family, thank you so much for uh, have, helping the Association of Local Colleges and Universities in Bicol Region in developing our pre-service teachers as well as those who are in the service, our instructors. So to our participants, especially the different pre-service teachers from various local colleges in the whole Bicol region. And also we have our beloved college presidents and college administrators. So this particular webinar is very significant in the preparation of our pre-service teachers, considering that uh, we are now confronted with various problems, challenges in the classroom setting that we as teachers, as pre-service teachers, can probably make solutions scientifically and data-driven in a data-driven manner. So this is very significant because as teachers, we should possess these competencies so that we can be very effective and efficient as well as responsive to the needs of our learners. It's a fact that not all problems in the classroom can be solved by our mother agency, the DepEd, and other private schools. That's why it's significant that as future teachers, we are already aware and we are uh, already possessing those skills, no, to respond to the needs of our learners. This can be done through action research. That's why napakahalaga po ng webinar na ito dahil magbibigay ng napaka uh, linaw, no, and scientific way para matulungan natin ang ating mga estudyante na maka-cope sa very challenging world, especially on the learning behavior ng ating mga estudyante. So, I'm so glad na ang Buse family ay laging nasa likod ng mga local colleges and universities sa Bicol region. So, thank you so much, Buse family and the Team Ripples for this almost 2-year partnership with Alpha 5 and looking forward for more activities that will develop not just our students, the pre-service teachers, but of course the faculty and the administration as a whole. So I welcome you all and thank you so much. And let's put ourselves into this venture para talagang sulit yung ating activity this morning. Thank you and God bless us all.
Thank you, Dr. Jovert Ofrasio, for your inspiring words. You really have highlighted the significance of action research. So before proceeding with the program, may request everyone to be ready for the photo opportunity. So please turn on your cameras and flash your best smiles. So we request the participants to turn on their cameras. Okay, are we ready? So this is the first panel. So just keep on smiling. We don't know which panel we are in. We have 8 panels. So ready na po for the first panel. Okay, let's take the picture. Okay, second panel. All right, let's now move on to the third panel. Keep on smiling. Right, fourth panel. Okay, next. Fifth. There are people who are not opening their cameras here. We request you to open your cameras. That's the fifth panel. Okay, let's have now the sixth panel. Okay, the
And can
seventh
you
panel. And for the last, the eighth. All right, thank you very much. You may now turn off again your cameras if you would like to do that. Okay, so that's our photo opportunity where we are all fresh for today's session. So now, to set the stage for our discussions, it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Marcia Corazon Pirico, the component leader of Pagtuturo at Pag-aaral and project leader of Ripples. She will present an overview of today's webinar. Please give her a virtual round of applause.
My morning greetings and butterfly hugs for everyone. Sending my love and heartfelt gratitude to the 1,744 registered participants to this webinar on action research for pre and in-service teachers. This is sponsored by, of course, the College of Education, Bicol University, with Dr. Lorna Minya as our dean, the Project Ripples, the Bio Extension Management Division, also ALCO 5. You have heard Dr. Jovert Ofracio. He heads the Association of Community Colleges in Region 5. He's the president of the Ligao Community College as well. We also have the BUSE Research Office headed by our MC today, Professor Ryan De La Torre, and of course, the BUSE Extension Office with Professor Rafael Buemia as our extension coordinator. With full support from Bicol University, I say Diyos mabalos sa indong presensya ngunya na aldaw. We have participants from the different teacher education institutions in the Bicol region. We acknowledge our participants, mostly pre-service teachers from the different teacher training institutions in the Bicol region. Thank you for responding positively to our invitation to attend this webinar. You know, the conduct of action research helps teachers to be more reflective as we try new ideas and see how they work in actual classroom practice. Today, will walk you through the basics and process of action research. We have invited two experts to shed light on these topics. They are teacher researchers. Of course, they will be introduced. Our speakers will be introduced later. I'm sure you will all be learning a lot from our speakers. After their talk, feel free to ask questions. And so, therefore, my dear friends, without much ado, I say welcome, have fun, sit back, relax, have fun while we are learning. This is Teacher Mars sending butterfly hugs to each and every one. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Rico, for the overview and setting the day's targets. Let's give her a virtual round of applause. So now we are honored to have esteemed experts in the field of education with us today. It is now my privilege to introduce our first resource speaker, Dr. Sheila I. Arroco, an associate professor from the Bicol University College of Education. She holds a PhD degree in Educational Foundation from Bicol University Graduate School. She served as a research coordinator, program advisor, and research ethics committee member. Aside from being an active faculty researcher, she is also an internal quality auditor of the Bicol University. She has presented and published a number of researches in various local and international conferences and journals. Today, she will enlighten us on the basics of action research. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Dr. Sheila Arroco.
Thank you very much, Professor Ryan. May I greet everyone a pleasant morning, especially to the project leader of Ripples, Dr. Mars, and likewise to the component leaders of this project. Of course, to Dr. Jobert of Russia, the president of Alpha 5, and all members of Alpha 5, good morning. Likewise to all pre-service teachers and in-service teachers from various schools who are in this webinar, a pleasant morning to all of you. So before I start, may I be permitted to share my screen? I hope that this is seen in your end.
Okay na po. I-slide share na lang po, ma'am.
Yeah. I'm looking for
Sure.
that option. I cannot see it in my, okay, it's here.
Slide show po. Yan. Yan.
Okay, so okay na po ba, Sir Pak?
Okay na po.
All right, so I am tasked to discuss about the foundations or the basics of action research. And it's not moving, sorry. Okay, it is already. And the outline of my presentation starts with looking into as well as the action research process. And the last slides are for action research samples that were done in the school setting. Okay. So first of all, everybody has or know knows a definition of what research is. No? So there are so many beautiful definition about research, but I would like to give you one coming from DepEd Order 39 series of 2016, that research, according to this definition, is a systematic process of collecting and analyzing data to increase the understanding of a particular thing. And we are familiar also with the so many types, no, or the kinds of researches. Uh, However, we are most familiar with what we see in the screen, such as the basic research, the applied research, the action research, which is the focus of our discussion this morning, as well as the developmental research. And to further see what action research is, let us distinguish it from the basic research, because some of us have a notion that action research is, or basic research is an action research, or action research is a basic research. So let us see what is the distinction between the two based on the following criteria, such as in terms of objectives, in terms of the problem, no? In terms of the scope or the sample, in terms of the analysis of data, conclusion, as well as on the application of results. Now, with regard to the objectives, for the basic research, the objective is to develop and test educational theory, but for an action research, we find solutions to problems in a specific context. So looking into or talking about the context, this could just be your classroom setting, okay, a local context inside your classroom. When it comes to the problem criterion, for the basic research, it covers a wide range of methods. But for action research, participating teacher identify problems during the teaching and learning process. So perhaps it is a problem identified in 1 quarter, or maybe in 1 semester. No. And then with regard to the sample size, considerably the basic research has a large sample size, or is required of a large sample size. However, for the action research, we see that the students inside the classroom are those that are identified as the population or the sample of our study. And in terms of the analysis of data, the basic research sometimes I use complex analysis. So for the action research, simple analysis are required, simple analysis of procedures. And with regard to the conclusion, for the basic research, it is in the form of generalization and developing theories. And for action research, it's on finding, the findings are local specific. So it is the real thing that happened only in our classroom. And so with regard to the application of the results, the basic research generalizations have broad applicability. Meanwhile, for the action research, the findings are used immediately in classroom situations by participating teachers to improve their own practices. So seems that the action research, we cannot really give a broad generalization, because the findings are true only in our context, in our own classroom. So why do we conduct an action research? Maybe you might be answering there in your own homes, or in your workplaces, or in your spaces now, that because it is a requirement of the curriculum. But above all this, these are the two important things that why we conduct an action research. Number one is to contribute to new practices, and the next one is to contribute to the new theory. So the first one, contributing to new practices, this is the action focus of the action research. Meanwhile, the second one, contributing to the new theory, this is actually the research focus of the action research. Right. And further, I would like to show you the various characteristics of an action research. You see that in our slide, the first one is constructivist. So just from the word construct, constructivist action researchers are perceived as generators of knowledge rather than receivers and enactors of knowledge produced by outside experts. This is according to Atlit Kenes et al. In 1998 and other advocates of action research such as Harvest, Hendricks, etc. So the next characteristic is an action research is situational. So action researchers aim to understand the unique context of their studies and the participants involved. The conclusions of these inquiries should be understood within the complexities, within the ambiguities, and nuances of particular settings in which their studies were conducted. That is according to Baumfield, Paul, and Wall in 2008, and also according to Mertler in 2012. The next characteristic you see in the slide is an action research is practical. Action researchers choose the questions that they plan to investigate based on their own concerns and professional areas of interest. The results of their studies are immediately relevant to the improvement. So take note of the word relevant to the improvement of their practice. And that's according to our teacher in 2008. And action research is also systematic. Action research is intentional, thoughtfully planned, systematic, and methodical. The research process has to be systematic in order to produce trustworthy and meaningful results. That's according to Burns in 2007. And the last one is it's exciting. It's from the word cycle. Action research starts with a research question. You are familiar with scientific method perhaps, no? Some of you are familiar with the cycle of the scientific method that starts with a problem and it does not, maybe you might think that it will end with the conclusion, but actually the conclusion will generate another problem. And so it is cyclic. So action research starts with a research question and ends with the application of the knowledge gained that leads to new questions and a new cycle of research. So that is according to Johnson, Mertler, Mills, Sagor, Stringer in 2018. So let's proceed to the next slide. This is the AR timeline, so the action research timeline. So you see here that it started with John Collier and Kurt Lewin, but actually action research has been around for some 70 years. No? It has always been linked with social change for social justice. It is generally understood that action research began with the work of John Collier in 1930s. And John Collier was acting as Commissioner for Indian Affairs, and Kurt Lewin in the 1940s, wherein Kurt Lewin is a Jewish refugee from Nazi Germany who worked as a social psychologist in the US. And they believed that people would be more motivated about their work if they were involved in decision making about how the workplace was run. So they researched what happened when people did become involved. Now, in the 1950s, I'm presenting the timeline of AR, simple timeline of AR. In the 1950s, action research was taken up in education, specifically by teaching profession and with Stephen Pardy. So this could also be seen in the context of the free schools and progressive education movements in the 1960s. That's according to Miller, in which the emphasis was on education for the promotion of democratic practices that would enable all people to take a full and active part in political life. Here, education came to be seen as about the production of thoughtful and responsible citizens. Then action research went into decline in the US during the late 1950s because of the focus on the need for technical excellence after the launch of the Sputnik and the emergence of new research and development models. It did, however, begin to take hold in Britain, mainly through the influence of Lawrence Stenhouse, who was working in context of teacher education. The work of Stenhouse was developed by a group of action researchers who were situated in and around the Center of Applied Research in Education, some of whom later went in their separate ways and developed ideas into other contexts. Then came Stephen Kemis, for example. He became an active and has had worldwide influence by developing ideas with participatory forms. So in general terms, action research became known as a form of practical research that legitimated teachers' attempts to understand their work from their own point of view. Now, action research is widely accepted as a form of professional learning across professions. So this slide shows the types of action research. We have here the first one is participatory action research, which is used to improve the quality of lives of individuals who make up the organizations, communities, and families. And the other one is the practical action research, which addresses a specific problem or need in a classroom, the school, or similar community. So perhaps most of us are working on the second type of action research, which is addressing a specific problem or need in our classroom, and that is the practical action research. So when is an action research applicable? So the first one is if you want to improve your understanding, if you want to develop your learning, or if you want to influence others' learning. And this one is Grundy's 3 modes of AR, such as the technical action research, wherein teachers are consumers and supporters of innovation. And the second one is the practical or interactive action research, wherein teachers as co-designers of innovation. And the third one is the emancipatory action research, wherein teachers as initiators, designers, and advocates of innovation. This is the steps actually in the conduct of action research general guide or general steps or general procedure. presented by Mills, and he called this as Mills Action Research Spiral. So the first in the procedure is to identify an area of focus, followed by collecting data. And if the data is not satisfied, you go back to identifying still, go back to your focus. And if the data is satisfied, we proceed to the analysis and its interpretation. But if you have incomplete or data is not that complete, we go back again to collecting data. So I don't know if some of you here in a defense was advised to go back still to the locale or the setting of your study and collect other more data in order to satisfy the focus of the research. And then after analysis and interpretation of data, we develop an action plan. And then from this action plan, then born the identification of another area, which will be another action research, another type or another action research. And there are so many action research models. I just would like to show you this very familiar one. This is the plan, act, observe, reflect, or the action research cycle. So what do we do here? For planning, we set improvement goals. We identify, this is where identification come in, information come in, then we analyze the information. Then after that, we act, acting through trials, collecting data, and asking questions. And we do observations, then we do reflections by evaluating, implementing, and revisiting what we have. Okay. And to be specific, I'll show you here the various steps that are done in a particular phase. Like for example, in the planning phase, this is where we identify a problem or a research topic. This is also where we verify the problem, set the problem in a theoretical context, and this is also where we plan for data collection. And then for the next phase, which is the acting phase, this is where we conduct the intervention. And of course, while conducting the intervention, we collect the data. And for the observation phase, we organize and analyze the data. And for the last phase, which is the reflection or the reflect phase, these are the various steps that are taken. We check if interventions have resulted in the intended change or improvement. We determine what factors are attributed to the improvement. We identify the problems arising during the action implementation. We decide what to do to resolve the newly identified problem in the next cycle, because we said that action research is cyclical. We create a plan for the next cycle. We draw conclusions and recommendations, and we also disseminate a right report if your AR is finished. So, if your schools have two defenses, for example, proposal and final defense, the planning phase constitute, or these steps are those that we do to prepare an action research proposal. And the last of these steps are done during the conduct, and finally will be presented during the final defense of your action research. So there are so many tips, to focus on a topic, but I would like to share with you what uh, Dr. Prudente also shared with us in one of our seminars about action research. The first one, according to her, is in order to have a focus on a topic, we have to keep it manageable. So we have to keep the focus small, in a small scale. So if it is in the classroom, yeah, sometimes we are so ambitious, no? So we would like to find several answers to a particular problem. So sometimes we are clouded with so many things to do that we just end up without any focus at all. The second one is it should be interesting to you. You may need some perseverance to see the inquiry through. And of course, it should be workable, should be doable. You are not stumped for ideas, but can identify ways in which you might have a go at addressing your question. And number four, it is not too disruptive of normal routines. So maybe you are anticipating that your schedules might get affected, but the fourth one says here that it should not disrupt our norm. So important here to think not just of your own, but of course also of others that your actions might affect. Okay, so let's proceed to the next slide. Now, I have here DepEd Order number 39, 2016, which tells us about the adoption of the basic education research agenda. So usually, our researches are anchored on the agenda, the present agenda that we have. Perhaps in my case, I am from Bicol University. We also have several research themes and agenda. And a particular research here, because this agenda are the focus, our focus. So our research should also be anchored on that particular theme or particular agenda. So because I am coming from the College of Education, so I think in my university there are 8 research themes, and there are several agenda per theme. So I am more on the education agenda, education theme. So for those working in the DepEd, you also have your agenda, research agenda. You can just download the full DepEd order from the site. But what I would like to show you here is that you have in the DepEd, there are several themes, and theme 1 focus on the teaching and learning. Theme 2 focus on the child protection. The third theme is about human resource development. The fourth is on governance, and the others are on disaster risk reduction management, inclusive education, gender, and development. So your research, if you are planning to conduct an action research to a DepEd school, you can also anchor your topic or research from the agenda of the DepEd. And I just called out sample sub-themes under the teaching and learning. So what are these? These are on instruction, curriculum, on the learners, on assessment, and finally on the learning outcomes. So on the other side of the matrix, we have here enumerated general sample or sample general questions under each sub-theme. But if you have a time, you can find it from the DepEd order that is complete, a complete document. So I just extracted some for the sake of this lecture or discussion. For the instruction, maybe we can ask what factors, this could be our focus, what factors may affect the teacher's delivery of the curriculum. So the topics could be in maybe terms of the learning space, about the lesson planning and creation of IMs. So you may would like to develop something for to address this particular subtheme on instruction. And then for curriculum, perhaps you would like to be guided by this question: how is the curriculum able to contribute in achieving the learning outcomes? So maybe you would like to focus on some strategies like using contextualization, using perhaps you would like to focus on the spiral projection in the curriculum. Maybe you would like to delve on use of higher order thinking skills. You would like to integrate the DRR, etc. And under the learners sub-theme, maybe you would like to be guided by this question: what makes a well-rounded, happy, and smart learner? Or learners, smart learners. So can work on with multiple intelligences, the teaching strategies, external and internal environment, etc. And then for assessment, maybe you would like to be guided by this question: what factors affect the implementation of classroom assessment? So what are the good practices, best practices, emerging good practices for assessment, teachers' expertise in constructing various types of assessment, availability of assessment tools and resources like the materials, manpower, environment. So perhaps you already heard the word portfolio assessment, etc. No? You know those assessment strategies. And then the last one, maybe you would like to be guided by this question: what factors affect the achievement of the learning outcomes? So could be along perhaps the language, perhaps still along the learning process, along the learning environment, or governance. So what do we do when we plan our AR? We should know the requirements, of course, before we start. This template is also coming from the DepEd order. So it is enumerating here the minimum requirements for an action research. What is this? Proposal. So we start with a context. So you might say, there are only very few items. Start with the context and rationale. So this is about the introduction, the related literature may come in here. So it's different from the thesis that you see or you read from libraries, that chapter 1 is about the problem, statement of the problem, what else, scope and delimitation. So in this action research template that is being used by DepEd, you see these items, and these items are to be done by the teacher in order for his or her action research proposal is approved. Then you have here the second part is on action research questions. Maybe you would like to work on 2 questions or 3 questions only. Then the third Roman number 3 is on the proposed innovation. It could be a strategy or any intervention. Then Roman number 4 focuses on the action research methods that will include your participants. Perhaps you would like to use two classes. One is experimental, the other one is the controlled. So you also discuss here that your data gathering methods and then the data analysis plan. And Roman number 5 is on action research work plan and timelines, where you can present here the work plan in the form of matrix, no? And the timelines also. And of course, there's always a cost no, in doing our activities. So you can also present in Roman number 6 the cost estimates. And of course, the plans for dissemination and utilization can include also presenting your final report in Congress, or you can write a publication out of what you found out, you know, from your action research. And of course, we do not forget the references. Now, those the items in the previous slide are what are required in the DepEd, but some schools also require other formats. No? So, for example, in Bicol University, we also have a different format, and a student here has to abide or to obey the format of the school. But generally, what we see in a complete AR, no, the completed AR are the following: the title, of course, the abstract and the keywords. It depends on the guidelines in your school, how you write your abstract, if it is to be limited only to 250 to 500 words. No? And then the rationale and the context still are part of this, the problem statement, which include also the objectives or the aims of your AR, and of course the methodology. We do not forget the ethical issues. Okay, so when we conduct researches, particularly if our respondents are minors or even if they are already adults, we always ask for a consent or an assent from our participants. Then we also show our plan of work, the resources, the outcomes. Important are the outcomes and the results, and of course our reference list. I would like to share with you our experience in our college. The Bicol University College of Education conducted an extension program. Professor Buemia is our extension coordinator, helping us, partnering with DepEd, DepEd SDO Albay, Schools Division Office of Albay. And this particular program is about a mentoring program for master teachers, head teachers, department heads of the division. And there were about 89 participants that joined in this program. It ran for about 2 years, and at the moment we are already working on component 4. So we are done with component 1, that was during the COVID pandemic time. We did webinars also like this. Participants were in their workspaces or learning spaces. There were several series of webinars on action research. So after that, they were able to make one proposal, which were submitted to DepEd, and there were several proposals that were approved by the DepEd. So this is entitled Action Research Made Easy, a mentoring program for master teachers, head teachers, department So what you see in the screen is the Action Research Congress, which was the venue of the final output or the research outputs of the teachers who were able to implement their approved action researches. And that was done last April 29, 2020. So there are several presenters here. Maybe you know or you are familiar with the names of the teacher presenters. These were their topics. Lesson live streaming as an aid in teaching personal development to grade 11 senior high school students. Another one is on contextualized learning activity sheets, plus in understanding culture, society, and politics. We also have here the at-home based at-home biology lab experiments, its effects on G11, the grade 11 STEM students' science process skills, and conceptual understanding in biology. So the focus was on the science process skills and conceptual understanding in biology. And another one from the TLE group, the use of student self-assessment guide to develop awareness in food hygiene of grade 9 modular students of Daraga National High School. We will understand that these are their topics or research topics because this was actually done during the pandemic time when we were not inside the physical classroom. We were doing our modules, or some of you are in the online class. And the presentation was online. It was in the form of a contest. And there were winners, of course, but the winners went in our office, at our office, during their convenient time. So we also awarded prizes to the best presenters. This one is the best in oral or paper presentation. Then we also have the first runner-up for the paper presentation. So you see in the picture the pictures are the winners. By the way, they have mentors. The program was mentoring. So the teachers had mentors coming from our school. So for example, this one, the mentor actually of Madame Rochelle is Dr. Ma'am Ante, biology professor of our in our department. But who you see are we have here the former research coordinator, Madam January. Of course, with her is our extension coordinator, Professor Buemia. Then we have the department chair, Madam Guyena. And of course, I am also around because I am the component leader for this action research. This is component 3. And with me is another professor, Professor Protasio, the component leader for component 1. So he took charge of the webinars about action research. Then we have the first runner-up. Don't ask me anymore about the prize, okay? But thanks to the sponsor for the prizes given to the winners. Okay, so you see that they came in their most convenient time. So the venues for receiving their certificates and awards are, you see that we have different venues here. So perhaps if you are students of theirs, maybe you see them, okay? So these are the people involved in this action research contest. And thank you very much to the faculty of Bicol University College of Education for their ever-ready support in this particular extension program. All right, so actually I am in our faculty room, so maybe you are hearing some. Sorry for that. All right, so let me proceed. I would like to present here. Maybe I am already in the last part of the topic outline. So I just would like to show you here some action research sketches. So for example, this one, we have here the use of student self-assessment guide. So ano yung kanilang ano? What was her aim? Just to assess the effect of using a student self-assessment guide during the conduct of performance tasks in cookery classes. Okay, so these are the specific questions. Let's proceed to the next. We have the at-home biology. So the aim of this was to investigate the effects of at-home biology lab experiments to the integrated science process skills and conceptual understanding, of course, of students in biology. Then we also have the contextualized learning activity sheets aimed to develop contextualized learning activity sheets in understanding culture, society, and politics. All right. We also have our students. I believe this is our curriculum, that part of our curriculum in the BS Ed and BE Ed programs is the conduct of a research. So particularly an action research. So in our experience, there are plenty students. So they actually would prefer to group themselves and present an action research. So only very few situations, I think, that there is only one student in a particular research, but most of the time they are in tandem, in a group of 3 or a group of 4 or group of 5. So they are doing the oral defenses, the proposal defense in front of the panel members. Okay, so I have captured this. I am a teacher of research class. I asked permission also to capture their activity while they are on their defenses. So there are other samples of action researches. For example, this one, action research, a tool for improving teacher quality and classroom practice. The aim is the study looks at the role action research, at the role that action research may play in creating positive change in teachers' practices. Okay. Then we also have action research on improving student speaking. So we do action research for improving student speaking proficiency in using cooperative storytelling strategy, okay, to improve the students' speaking skills. Then we also have here which aim to assess the extent of utilization of innovative strategies of the MAPE teachers in public secondary schools. Layo ito, no? To Gigaraw City. This one using the Facebook app, looking into the effect of Facebook application as interactive participation mode in the performance of grade 7 students in edukasyon sa pagpapakatao. So perhaps this was done also, I'm not so sure if this was done during the pandemic time or maybe pre-pandemic. Then we also have here the blended tool in teaching grade 8, using the blended learning as the strategy in this research to determine the effect of the utilization of social media, particularly Facebook also, as a blended learning tool. Then, yan, asynchronous discussion forum, fostering reflection among pre-service math teachers, which aim to investigate the learning experiences and challenges encountered by the pre-service math teachers in answering open-ended questions through a synchronous discussion forum or ADF. Okay, I think this is the last, improving students' performance, motivation, and learning attitude through influence embedded physics instruction. So, before we end this portion, let us ponder with on these questions. What actual situation in your field do you want to improve? So for the pre-service teachers, for the teachers, perhaps you can answer this directly, no? So without any more, because this is your situation, this is what you see in your classroom now. But for the pre-service teachers who are still inside the classrooms of their schools, maybe they may not be aware of what are happening in the actual field. So maybe we can just pay visit to the schools where you would like to conduct your action researches, so that you may see the actual situation in that particular classroom, and look into some strategies or what you would like to do in order to improve such situation, or what is your intended action to address that situation. So let us remember this one coming from McNiff, Lomax, and Whitehead in 1996. According to them, remember, any improvement is still improvement, no matter how small. So even if, I heard this from one of our speakers also, that even if there is only a slight improvement, but still that is an improvement. So let us not be disappointed, and maybe there's still next time to improve. Again, we conduct another action research, because as we have seen from the slide, one of the characteristics of an action research is that it is cyclical. So maybe you are not satisfied with this improvement, then you conduct another one until you become satisfied. Right? So I think that is all. These are the references of my presentation. Thank you very much for listening. May I return the virtual floor to our MC. Okay, thank you po.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sheila Arroco, for your insightful talk. We now have a full grasp of the essence of action research, which helps us establish our foundational research skills. So let us give Dr. Arroco a resounding virtual clap. So following Dr. Arroco's presentation, we will have a question and answer session to address any queries and insights from the audience. Those in the Zoom meeting may click the raise hand icon, and if called, please say your name and affiliation before asking a question. Our participants on Facebook Live may type their names, affiliations, and questions, which will be shared by our facilitators. Okay, so those in the Zoom meeting, if there are questions, we request you to click the raise hand button and you will be recognized. So maybe our participants are still thinking what questions to ask. So I think let's try to start the ball rolling. I'll try to ask first the question, madam. what we have learned the significance of action research, its practicality, how it will help us in the classroom, in the teaching field, no? So what pieces of advice can you give to teachers who lack confidence in conducting action research? Because we still have teachers who are reluctant to conduct action research, Madam.
That is normal, Sir Ryan.
Yeah.
So maybe we can partner with those who are already doing this activity, uh, and maybe through a mentoring program, they can also be helped. Because there are some who, by just thinking of the word research, they, as much as possible, they would like to listen about it. They would not like to hear about it because they would see that it is tiring, it's tiring. But if we, doing such is, we do not start like very good or excellent already. Uh, Let us just start, and let us not get disappointed if we find the results to be not according to what we want. So maybe because in the process of doing such, we are not actually after the end. So let us also look at the process. So maybe in the process we are learning, so that next time when we conduct another, we have already learned from our small mistakes and we do not anymore commit that. So finally we will be arriving to intended or to what we want to have as a result. So attend seminars also like this, wherein you will perhaps listen to some insights coming from other speakers, particularly in other parts of, of, of research. Like, for example, in my case, I only gave the basics, but I believe that there are some speakers who will be talking about other parts of the research. So let us just have a positive attitude because you take note that, let's take note also that we are, as teachers, we are also researchers, or we are, we research also what we teach. So I think, Sir Ryan, if one is not so confident, then maybe he or she can just ask help from others who are already doing this.
Okay. Thank you very much. So that's right, no. According to Madam, we have to start no matter how small. She mentioned about that code, no. A small improvement is still an improvement. It's very, those words are worth remembering. And of course, if our action research is not perfect or the result is not what we expected, we can always go back, do another research to improve our practice. So these are all opportunities for growth and development. Thank you very much, Dr. Araujo. So let us entertain other questions if there are from the audience. Okay, so we have Professor Dennis Soliman. You are recognized, sir. You may open your microphone.
Good evening, sir, and good evening. Good morning, ma'am, and good morning, sir. I'm from Baca Community College po, a fourth-year student and Filipino major. And my ask po, sir and ma'am, is that I know, ma'am, that you already have your action research and you are research instructor, as what you've said earlier. What do you think, ma'am, is the challenges that we need to expect as we are because I don't really have an experience doing action research. So what do you need? What things do we need to expect, or what's the challenges that we are? What the challenges that we are na pwede po naming ma-encounter while doing the action research po.
Okay, thank you very much, Sir Dennis. No, so I would like to answer that question based from what I also observed from my students. First of all, in my classroom, the problem actually is they don't know a problem, a research problem to work on. So basically, because we are just focused on the four walls of the room, so we have to go out. Okay, so we have to move out, and we have to do some observations. You can go back to your former school. They ask you had an experience, some issues perhaps in the teaching learning or instruction or other teaching learning aspects doon sa school mo dati. Then you may still go back and ask the teacher if this is still an issue. You can talk to your teacher what we can do to improve a particular issue. If there's a problem, let's say, achievement of the students, ano bang mga sa Philippine, reading or writing, no? So you can talk with the teacher. Now, of course, that is already a challenge because it will also affect your schedule in your school because you are still entering your academic subjects. So you just find time for that. But in our case here, whenever the students go out, they are bringing with them a letter. Para legit, no? Para legit. So they are bringing with them a letter of their intention, enumerating their request. So they come back, with full of observations and data coming from the teachers they interviewed or even from the principal. And of course, the cost is also a challenge because maybe you are riding, you are not just going there walking, so you have to call out some amounts from your baon. So you may sacrifice your lunch. So wag naman sana. So these are some challenges. And also, if it is a group work, then you cannot deny the fact that there might be some issues that may arise in terms of ano ba yung mga issues like tasking, division of work. What else? Today they are in third year. My students are in third year. We have academic subjects, so they are competing with the time, with also the requirements of their other subjects, because this is not their only subject, but this is a requirement, not of the subject actually, but of the degree. So sabi namin is, hindi ito requirement lang ng subject, pero requirement ito ng kanilang degree, or a BE. And there are still other challenges, like the factors of connectivity, because maybe in your classroom you don't have a data, so you have to find for allocation, so you have still to buy a data if your school doesn't provide one. What else? Your rapport with your advisor, if the advisor doesn't want your research topic, you have to make another ulit, so on until the midterm period is over. You don't have yet your chapter 1 or chapter 2. It depends on the parts of what you are going to prepare in your proposal. So there are still many more. so far, what I have told you, I shared with you, are what I also got from the experiences of my students. Sir Ryan is also an action research teacher.
Thank you, Ma'am Sheila and Sir Dennis. So we have an enlightening response from Dr. Sheila. There are still questions in the Zoom meeting from Miss Jean Razon from DCOMC. You're recognized. Would you like to read or share with us your question? You can use your microphone. Miss Jean Razon. Okay, so maybe she can't use her microphone. I will just read the question. Okay, she said, magsisimula pa lang po kami sa research namin and I would like to ask po, how can the principles of action research be effectively applied para ma-address po yung mga various specific challenges and learning needs ng mga students ng mga diverse elementary school students po, considering the cultural, socioeconomic, regional differences within the community. That's
So,
from
yeah.
Jean.
First of all, ang action research is as distinguished from the basic research. Yung sample natin konti lang, no? Pwedeng classroom setting lang. So, ano yung tanong niya po? Yung principles, how ano po yun?
Ano, how can the
How can it
principles
use?
of action research be effectively applied para ma-address yung diversity ng learners' needs sa elementary daw po?
So, diversity of the learners' needs. So, ang daming mga needs, no? So, sabi baga natin, we just find a focus. So, kung ang dami-dami nito, gusto natin itong pag-isahin sa isa lang na research, parang mahihirapan po talaga. So, let us identify kung ano yung priority muna natin dito sa mga needs na to ng students natin. So, then, yung iba naman yung identify na needs. So, para makatapos tayo. No, so, ganun lang po. We make it simple kasi usually we want our researchers to so ambitious na hindi na natin makita yung focus. So, just have a focus. Okay po?
All right, thank you. We still have a question from Steven Reyes of DCOMC. You are recognized.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Ma'am, sir, are there any specific resources, tools, or platforms you recommended for pre-service teacher looking to embark on action research in education?
Mhm. Yeah, there are plenty of resources. No, that you just look for some itong sa DepEd natin, meron siyang yung DepEd order. There is an enumerated guideline in the conduct of an action research also. Ano pa mga resources? Ang dami, no? We just have to avoid yung plagiarism, no? So, alam ko na gumagamit kayo ng mga chat GPT, pero mahirap yun, ano? Kasi yung plagiarism issue dyan. For what do we use here for the search of related literature? We have e-journals. We have plenty of that. Bicol University has this particular site, Gale. It's a journal. I don't know in your school if you have, but the Google Scholar, you can use that. Publisher page, use that. Find for related literature and studies. So we just have merong ano naman dyan, parang link, no, if you want to search for studies that were done for the past 10 years. You just have to encode the range of the year. prepare, ano pa, ang dami, no? Sir Ryan, ang dami apps. Alam ko, mas alam niyo yan, yung mga millennials. But of course, walang substitute from reading. So, we have to read so that we can write. So, yun po yun.
Thank you. Any more questions from the participants? So Steven, do you still have a follow-up on that?
No po, sir, but
Okay.
I have another question po, sir.
Okay.
Ma'am, sir, how do you balance the demands of teaching with the time and resources needed for effective action research?
That's already part of my function to conduct a research. So, it's just time management, Sir Stephen. So, we do our work, we go inside the classroom. In my case, I'm meeting my classes. And after that, there is time also for conducting a research because in our university, for example, I am carrying research now, a research study that's already equivalent. Meron kami tinatawag na work equivalent dito. Parang yung 3 hours namin sa isang week ay allotted doon sa research. No? I'm talking about myself as a teacher. But in your case as a student, sa mga students, I'm sorry po, are you a student or you are also a teacher?
Yes po, ma'am. I'm student from Daraga Community
Yeah.
College.
So in your case as a student, syempre, then the works, time management, proper time management. If there are some of us here who are working students, then it should not be a hindrance, no? So you just have to manage our time effectively, properly. So yun lang po. Siguro wala namang problema sa mga activities na yan. May focus lang po talaga. So, ano bang mga na-observe ko sa mga students mo? Lesser yung recreation nila. Whenever they have vacant time, they would go to their advisors. No? They would ask for an appointment from their advisors. They consult their advisor because it is a must or it is a good practice that the advisor knows what you are doing. Kasi yung research teacher, halimbawa ako, I have 8 groups and these are varied research topics. So in a 3-hour class, it's very difficult also to attend to all of these groups, but the advisors are there to help me. So when they come back, at least their chapter 1 perhaps are already polished. And then if there are some other issues that I would like to raise, go to the advisor, would bargain, kung hindi nila talaga kaya, they can bargain with the advisor. And even during the defense sa proposal nila, kung hindi po talaga kaya, we can always bargain. Sabihin natin, ito po yung kaya namin. Yun lang. Sir Ryan?
Thank you. So in the interest of time, we will just entertain last 2 questions. In a way, in our second talk, there will be more of the process of doing action research. So you may ask other questions there. So for the last 2 questions, let us recognize Miss Andrea Jean Alcantara. You may use your microphone.
Good morning po, ma'am and sir. So, I would like to ask po on how to come up with a good action research title or a problem. Kasi po as a student, we have the idea or the topic na in our mind, but we just find it hard to come up with a good title po. Can you give us a tips or idea about that po? Thank you po.
So for a good title, okay. So nakita din natin yung mga titles na kanina sa mga last slides natin. So So, hindi sila masyadong mahahaba. So, yung mga the titles are composed of the variables, no? Yung kung meron po tinatawag na independent and dependent variables. Kung meron kang nakita doon, the effect of, so meron siya doon na independent variable. Tapos, to, for example, the student's achievement, attitude toward the subject, no, dependent variable, are dependent from the intervention that we are going to give to the student. So, I think this will be another session kasi meron maganda talagang workshop dito sa paggawa ng mga titles. Kasi minsan gusto natin ilagay yung yung place, yung for example, anong school mo po? Daraga Community College. Pero merong mga guidelines na we omit the school, the title. No, parang ilalagay na lang natin siya doon sa scope, no? Sa scope ng ating study. And then may mga other words hindi na din natin ilalagay sa mga titles. So your question actually, Ms. Karen, is a very good topic, another topic or another webinar. Kasi may mga workshops dito naman. If you have this title, paano siya ma-manage? There are some rules and guidelines. But for now, yun na muna, ipahapyo ko na muna. So, di ba may mga rules na how many words lang, 12 to 15 words, pero sa title, how do you write that? Inverted pyramid ba? Or isang linya lang? So, ang ganito lang bang word, development of prevention material is already title. So, makikita natin na merong tinatawag dyan na subject sa title. Ano tawag? May organism na tinatawag. So, yung mga ano na yan, terms na yan, maganda din ang pag-aralan din natin yung another set of time. Pero so far, yun lang for now.
Thank you. For our last question for this session, we have Miss Karen Padua from DCOMC. You're recognized.
Hello
So,
po. Good morning po.
pala
Am
yan si
I audible po?
Yes, you are. Miss Karen, you may ask your question.
Sorry po. Na-unmute ko po pala yung microphone ko. So, I will start with a statement po. Sabi daw po kasi, action research should empower educators daw po in improving their teaching performance and developing the culture of lifelong learning. Now, as a pre-service teacher po, would you recommend that the respondents of our study are teachers po instead of students as a pre-service teacher po?
The teachers the teachers can also be your respondent, no? Hindi naman tayo limited sa respondents. So, for example, if you would like to develop a certain material, no? If it is acceptable both to the teachers and to the students, then that we can include the teachers as one of our respondents. So when we speak of respondents, sometimes we have varied respondents, diba? So it depends on the context of your study. Okay. So yeah, you can. Okay. So
Thank
Mr.
you po,
Ryan?
ma'am.
All right, thank you. More questions will be entertained later during the second session. So we thank the audience for engaging with us. This juncture, we will award a certificate of commendation to our speaker. So we will now have the awarding of the certificate of commendation to our first speaker. So the citation reads, BU College of Education, Project Ripples, Association of Local Colleges and Universities 5, BUSE Research Office, BUSE Extension Office, Certificate of Commendation is hereby presented to Sheila I. Arroco, PhD, for sharing her invaluable insights as resource speaker on the topic The Basics of Action Research during the Action Research for Pre- and In-Service Teachers, a webinar held on October 11, 2023 via Zoom and Facebook Live. Signed, Ryan G. De La Torre, MA, Research Coordinator. Signed, Rafael B. Bohemia, MAED, Extension Coordinator. Signed, Marcia Corazon P. Rico, PhD, Project Leader. Signed, Lorna M. Minya, PhD, Dean. Signed, Jovert M. Ofracio, Eddie, President, ALCO 5. Let's give a big round of applause to Dr. Sheila Arroco. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you very much and happy writing to all.
All right, so next, we will be privileged to hear from our second resource speaker, Mr. Romel Carl R. Peralta, a Master Teacher 2 from DepEd Ligao National High School. He holds a Bachelor of Secondary Education major in Physics, graduating with honors cum laude. He pursued his Master of Arts in Physics Education at Bicol University Graduate School and subsequently earned a Doctor of Philosophy in Educational Foundations from the same institution. Mr. Peralta has garnered numerous local and national accolades. In 2020, he was recognized as an outstanding teacher in innovation by InstaBright publication. The following year, he received the Global Teachers Awards for Innovation and was named an outstanding teacher in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education. His project proposals, Project InnoCubes, and Project Pitrex received funding from the Department of Science and Technology Institute for 2 consecutive years. Additionally, he clinched the title of National Champion in the recent DOST SEI Second InnoBox search for most innovative learning resource material in science and mathematics. Mr. Peralta has also authored and presented research papers at various local, national, and international research conferences and forums. Currently, he holds the position of Master Teacher 2 at Ligao National High School, Ligao City, and enjoys a fulfilling family life with his spouse and 2 children. He will guide us through the process of conducting action research. Please give a warm welcome to Mr. Romel Carl Peralta.
Hello, good morning. So, naririnig na po ba ako? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay na po.
Okay, thank you
Okay.
very much po. To our BUEMT coordinator, my former professor, one of my favorite professors, Dr. Marcia Corazon Rico, to my former mentor in Albay Division, Professor Rafael Buemia, to my dissertation advisor, Dr. Sheila Arroco, to the Dean of College of Education, Dr. Lorna Minya, and to the President of ACU, am I right? Dr. Jovert Ofracio, my friend, Dr. Jovert, good morning. And to the pre-service teachers and teachers as well in Department of Education and various private and state universities in our region. And I think we have also participants coming from Visayas. Good morning. So please allow me to share with you. Actually, ang gagawin lang naman natin this morning is more on sharing because I will share to you my experiences in doing action research. However, I cannot share my screen. Sir? Naka-disable po ata. Yan. So, yan. So, okay na. Start na po tayo. So again, I will share to you my experiences in conducting action research. Actually, I started in making action research way back in 2018 when I was assigned in Ligao City Division and promoted as master teacher to in-embrace ko na yung culture of excellence ng Ligao City Division when it comes to doing action research. So next slide, please. So our objectives for today is to discuss comprehensively the action research process and to gain practical insights to implement action research in professional practice, fostering a culture of evidence-based decision-making and continuous improvement. Next slide. Yan. So sa amin po sa DepEd, we make sure that our activities, our programs should be anchored on our vision. So the DepEd envision that we all stakeholders, which includes the teachers, the student, we dream of Filipinos who passionately love their country and whose values and competencies enable them to realize their full potential and contribute meaningfully to building the nation. As a learner-centered public institution, the Department of Education continuously improves itself to better serve its stakeholders. Of course, DepEd kasi hindi na siya yung dati na more on teacher-centered. Now, the Department of Education ay more on, maybe sabihin natin stakeholder-centered. We involve all the participants, all the stakeholders in our school, which includes the teachers, the students, the parents, the administrators, the LGU. So tulong-tulong kami, tulong-tulong tayo para magkaroon tayo ng magagaling ng mga mag-aaral and soon to be mga citizens na magiging assets ng ating pinakamamahal na bansang Pilipinas. Next po. Now, the mission of DepEd, of course, is for the students to learn in a child-friendly, gender-sensitive, safe, and motivating environment. Teachers facilitate learning and constantly nurture every learner. Administrators and staff are stewards of the institution, ensure an enabling and supportive environment for effective learning to happen. And of course, family, community, and other stakeholders are actively engaged and share responsibility for developing lifelong learners. So you may ask, bakit sinasabi ko ang mga bagay na ito? Why I keep mentioning the vision and mission of Department of Education? Next slide po. Of course, we have this what we call conceptual framework of basic education research agenda or BERA. As you notice po in the conceptual framework, lahat ng activities should be leading to our mission and vision na dapat ang mga estudyante ng DepEd, ng mga eskwelahan ng ating bansang Pilipinas ay dapat matuto sa isang child-friendly and gender-sensitive, safe and motivating environment. Ito yung paaralan na kung saan tumitira ang mga mag-aaral sa loob ng, I think, 8 oras, 9 hours. And yung teachers natin, tayo pong mga teachers should facilitate learning. That term is facilitate. So ang bida talaga dyan ay yung mga estudyante, tayo pong mga teachers, tutulungan lang natin yung mga mag-aaral nating matuto. And at the same time, we involve our stakeholders, the administrators, family, your family, our community, and other stakeholders to be engaged in the lifelong learning process of our students. And sa pinakababa po, as you notice, we have there the 4 thematic areas in basic education research agenda or BERA. Yung 4 na pong ito ay yung teaching and learning, child protection, human resource development, and governance. Ito pong 4 na ito po yung pinag-uugutan namin sa DepEd para gumawa ng action research. Since ang focus ni teacher ay more on teaching and learning, so dito tayo. Dito tayo papasok as teachers. While for child protection, maybe we can also make action research pertaining to this, but this work is more on the guidance, counselors, guidance office, while for the human resource development, this is more on for the administrative staffs, for the school heads, same with the governance. Today, ang pag-uusapan po natin ngayong araw ay more on kung paano ang paggawa ng action research sa teaching and learning. Kasi yun talaga yung pinakagusto natin. Bilang mga guro ng ating bansa, ang pinakapangarap natin ay magkaroon tayo ng mga sobrang galing na mga mag-aaral na mayroong mga kakayahan na makasurvive sa iba-ibang problema ang maaring kaharapin nila in the future. At the same time, they will learn the attitude. Magkaroon sila ng mga magagandang pag-uugali na makakatulong din para mas magkaroon tayo ng mas magandang bansang Pilipinas. Next slide po. Yan. So ito po yung parameters in making research title. A while ago, nakikinig po ako sa mga tanong ng ating mga pre-service teachers. Paano ba gumawa ng title? Paano ba mag-construct ng problem? Pure lang po ito. Tama po doon si Dr. Arroco that we will have a separate session for that. Mas detailed yung discussion para sa paggawa ng title and ng problem. Pero dadaanan lang natin po ito ng kaunti. Kasi ito po yung consider ko sa paggawa ng aking action research. Unang-una, kailangan muna nating alamin ba yung purpose ng research na gusto nating pag-aralan. Gusto ba nating tulungan ang ating mga mag-aaral para mas matuto sa asignatura natin na itinuturo? Halimbawa, in Filipino, kanina po may Filipino teacher na nagtanong, ano ba yung mga problemang kinakaharap nyo as Filipino teacher sa pagtuturo ng mga topics pertaining to your subject? Ang goal naman natin dito is to help our students to learn better. So, alamin natin, ano ba yung purpose ng study natin? Kanina naman may nagtanong, pwede bang pag-aralan, ang tanong kanya, pwede ba namin gawing respondents yung mga teachers? Yes, maybe. Depende din sa purpose ng study nyo. Kung ang element talaga yung teacher, ang response talaga yung teacher, at ang purpose nyo is to enhance the teaching and learning process, maybe we can consider them as your respondents. Then, after knowing the purpose of your research, it is very important that you know also the tone of your paper. As discussed a while ago by Dr. Arroco, she differentiate the action research from basic research. Magkaiba po itong dalawa. Bigyan lang po natin to ng emphasis kasi karamihan kahit sa amin sa DepEd, maraming mga teacher ang nahihirapan, maraming teacher ang umaayaw sa paggawa ng research kasi andun pa din yung attitude namin. Namin na mahirap ang paggawa ng research kasi in masteral degree, in doctoral degree, even nung panahon namin in the old curriculum, we are required to make full-blown research. Kaya, nung pagdating namin sa DepEd, parang medyo natakot kami bakit kailangan namin gumawa ng research. Ibig kasi yung basic research, iba naman yung action research. Sa basic research, talagang malaliman yung discussion. Napakalalim. While for action research, yung sabi kanina ni Dr. Arroco, nakafocus lang siya doon sa resulta na nakuha mo doon sa classroom. For example, if you chose a particular topic in a classroom setup, like in my case, I am a physics teacher, I noticed that the master level of our students are very low when it comes to the topics in mechanics, like in velocity, momentum, projectile motion. Medyo mababa yung performance ng mga bata doon. Gusto naming malaman, bakit mababa yung performance ng mga bata doon? And then, we can in particular, a very simple activity, a very simple program or intervention in which ma-address yung mastery level ng mga estudyante. Yun lang naman. Ang gusto lang naman natin, ma-improve yung mastery level. Anong sinasabi natin dito mastery level? Yung pagkatuto, ma-improve yung pagkatuto ng mga estudyante pagdating sa mga topics na ito. Yun lang. Napakasimple lang. Isa pa sa mga kinatatakutan ng mga researchers, maybe in the field, and kami mga teachers, ay kapag sinabing research, dapat makapal. Dapat siguro at least 100 pages. But in action research, di naman kailangan makapal. Okay na din yung mga 50-30, depende kasi sa literature nyo. Simple lang naman. Later on, makita nyo po yung format ng action research. Then, of course, you need to consider also ano ba yung methodology na gusto natin gamitin. If your study will focus on experiences, maybe you can consider the qualitative research method, phenomenology, if you want to observe the culture, ethnography. But if your study will focus on addressing a particular mastery level or competency, maybe it can be a simple experimental research design, pre and post test lang. Pag ano na kasi kapag sa experimental research medyo malalim na din. But you can consider this yung klaseng research design na yon. So in choosing a particular topic title, dapat importante number one, sino ang gusto mong tulungan? Estudyante ba or guro? Pero in our case, we are teacher, our function is to teach, and our function is to develop the learning competencies, the skills, the attitude of our students. So doon tayo sa classroom. Then, alaman natin kung ano yung tone ng paper natin. At the same time, ano ba yung methodology na pwede nating magamit to make our research paper, to design our action research. Simple lang naman pagdating sa action research. Next slide po. Yan. So ito po yung steps na consider ko in selecting my topic. Of course, in step number 1, brainstorm for ideas. In Ligao National High School, our practice is, ganito na lang. We have learning action cell. Even if nung nasa nasa Albay Division, may learning action cell kami na sinasabi. Itong learning action cell na po ito, bawat buwan, may araw kami na kung saan nag-uusap-usap kaming mga teachers. Yan. Halimbawa, after the periodic exam, may araw na magmi-meeting kami, mag-uusap-usap kami ng mga teachers at titingnan namin ano ba yung mga mababang competency ng mga bata. Saan sila nahihirapan? Bakit sila nahihirapan? So yun ang mga tanong namin kapag nakuha na namin yung item analysis. Kapag nakuha na namin yung mga data after the periodic exam. Alamin namin doon saan sila nahihirapan. Anong mga topics ang mabababa ang performance ng mga bata. Sulat kami sa board. Ano ba yung mga possible reasons? Pwede ba yung teaching strategy namin hindi effective? Or baka learner's material? Or pwede naman, baka teacher factor, boring ako magturo, kailangan kong galingan masyado. Or baka yung learning environment hindi na conducive para sa mga bata. So, during our learning action cell, we brainstorm, nag-uusap-usap kami, and we consider these things, yung mga lesson namin. And then, pipili kami doon. Isang topic na pwede namin pag-aralan. So for example, ang napili namin is more on strategy. Then next learning action cell, magse-session na kami about different teaching strategies. And magde-develop na kami ng lesson. Gamit yung strategy na natutunan namin. And every year, yun ang ginagawa namin. So, hindi naman gustong sabihin na yung action research mo sa'yo lang. Hindi. We recognize the help of our colleagues. Sabi nga natin, sa vision baga ng DepEd, sa start pa lang natin, na-mention natin yung vision ng DepEd, ang unang-unang word na ginamit niya ay we. We. Tayo. We need to collaborate, to address the different issues counter natin sa pagtuturo. Then, ito yung pinaka-importante din. Read general background information. So, aalamin natin yung mga profile din ng mga estudyante. At the same time, we also read books, maybe, researches, and other articles na makakatulong sa atin to analyze these particular issues. Then, focus na tayo doon sa topic. Then, magsulat na tayo ng mga keywords. Ano ba yung mga keywords na sinasabi? Like master level. Like, siguro, mechanics. like conceptual understanding, like attitude, like social skill. So siguro itong mga words na itong nalista natin, pipili tayo doon. Ano ba yung gusto nating tutukan? And yun ang magiging variable natin sa paggawa ng study. Hindi gustong sabihin, sinulat mo, pinulot mo yung word ng mga words, ng mga keywords lahat yun i-consider mo, no? Kukuha ka lang doon ng mga priority mo. Next, be flexible. Yan. Isa sa mga skill na dapat matutunan natin as 21st century learners, to become flexible. And it is really a challenge for us as teachers, at the same time sa inyo po as pre-service teachers, na pagsasamahin natin yung trabaho, yung pag-aaral sa paggawa ng research. Ganun talaga. We need to become flexible kasi sa tunay na buhay, share ko lang konti lang sa tunay na buhay, madaming problema tayong kakaharapin. Personal na problema sa trabaho. Then again, ang pinaka-importante doon is we need to become flexible para makapag-adjust tayo sa mga iba-ibang problema ang kakaharapin natin in the future. The same with doing action research. Dapat flexible tayo. Next, we need to define our topic and focus on the research question. And research and read more about the topic. Dapat magbasa lang tayo. Kanina po nagtanong yung isang participant natin, ano yung mga applications, ano yung mga search engines na pwedeng gamitin sa pag-research? Madami. Madami? We can use Philippine A-Journal. We have many journal websites. Pero ako talaga ang gusto ko doon tayo sa library natin. Number one, doon tayo sa library, maghanap tayo ng mga researches, siguro yung mga updated na mga research, basahin muna natin para makita natin ano ba yung mga problems na na-encounter talaga sa loob ng classroom. Kasi yun din ang mahirap sa pre-service teachers. Hindi pa masyadong immerse sa loob ng classroom. Kaya sa paggawa ng action research in college, nahihirapan din sila. Unlike with us, as teachers talaga, in-service teachers na nasa field na. So araw-araw nagtuturo, araw-araw madaming problema ang na-encounter, kaya madali mag-isip ng problem. But I think, number one, unahin nyo muna magbasa ng mga local literatures, local studies na available po dyan sa mga library nyo. I think sa Bicol University may library, sa Daraga Community College may library. So, gamitin natin yon. And then, kapag gumamit na tayo ng mga local literatures, studies, doon na kayo, maghanap na kayo doon sa internet. Maghanap na tayo ng mga foreign studies, para ma-relate din natin. Ano ba talaga yung pinaka-problema? Next, formulate a thesis statement. So, ito na po yung natin. Ito na yung title natin. Next po. Yan. So we have the characteristics of good research question. So unang-una, ang kinonsider ko po is number one, dapat focus, as we mentioned a while ago, dapat focus lang sa isang topic yung study nyo. Huwag masyadong maging idealistic, huwag masyadong lawakan. Simple lang. Next, dapat researchable. Pag sinabi natin researchable, hindi siya yes or no questions. Dapat more on how and what. Then feasible ba? I-consider niyo yung time. Ilang buwan ba kayo dapat mag-research? Halimbawa, in case sa inyo, mga college students, mga pre-service teachers, one sem lang ata, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, one sem lang ata yung ibibigay sa inyo sa paggawa ng research. So dapat simple lang. Dapat matapos siya sa isang sem, hindi yung matatapos siya after 1 year, 2 years. So hindi ganun. Next, specific. Indeed, your topic should be very specific. At the same time, bakit sir may complex? When we say complex, specific, at the same time, complex in the sense that we need to consider different literatures. We need to consider studies also to justify your topic. And then your research question should be relevant. Relevant sa ngayon. Halimbawa, tapos na yung modular learning. So, wag na natin yung i-touch. Nasa post-pandemic period na tayo. So ano na yung mga problemang kinakaharap ngayon sa loob ng classroom? Unang-una, learning loss. May mga bata, like in elementary, in grade school, may mga estudyanteng hindi marunong mag-pronounce ng word. Kahit sa amin, sa high school, may ilang-ilang estudyante kami na nahihirapan sa pagbabasa. So yun ang tutututin. Yung literacy level ng mga estudyante. Or maybe, doon naman sa mathematics, ano ba yung mga prerequisite topics na hindi nila na-discuss? Like sa senior high school, may topic dyan na rational expression, pero ang kailangan niyang prerequisite concept, yung operation sa fraction. So, yung ganun. Doon tayo sa relevant ngayon. Para updated din. Next po. Ayan. So, paano na tayo mag-formulate ng research question? Yan. We need to choose a topic. Siyempre, yung topic mo, medyo broad pa yun. So, inanaraw natin ng kaunti. Focus lang tayo sa mga specifics. Ano yung kaya natin i-attain? Kasi tatandaan natin na maikli lang yung time natin. Next, ask some questions. Sulat mo na lahat ng questions mo doon. Then pili ka. Ano ba talaga yung pinaka-applicable? And then focus on that particular question. Your questions in action research, siguro okay na mga 2, 3, 4. 3, 4 nga, madami na. Mga hanggang 3 lang siguro. So parang ganun. Next po. Yan. So we have elements in writing statement of the problem. So kapag magsusulat ka na ng statement of the problem, ito yung ginawa ko. Ano po? Consider ko yung main task, yung variable ng study ko, participants, sino yung mga magiging respondents ko, setting, saan gagawin, coverage date, hanggang kailan, isang semester, isang taon, 2 buwan, 1 linggo, and yung output. In our case, in action research, dapat palagi tayong mayroong intervention. Kaya nga sinabing action research. Ito yung problem mo, then gagawa ka ng action para masolusyonan mo yung problema mo. Okay. Like, marami yung mga estudyante ang nahihirapan magbasa. Anong intervention mo? Ano yung activity mo? Or it can be a learning resource material, or it can be a program na makakatulong para ma-address yung problema mo. So, ganon. So, next slide po. Yan. In my case, ito yung ginawa ko. Ang main task ko is to improve the STEM students' mastery level in critical mechanics content. Yan. Ang gusto kong mangyari as teacher, as physics teacher, ang gusto kong mangyari, ma-improve ko yung mastery level ng mga bata sa mga mahihirap na mga topics sa physics. Like, for equations in kinematics, projectile motion. So ito talaga yung mga mahihirap na mga topics sa physics. Then, ano ba yung mga variables sa studying ito? So, punta ka doon sa main task. Ano ba yung mga importanteng na-mention dyan? Number 1, mastery level. Kasi sa amin, sa DepEd po, talagang ang focus namin is more on the development of mastery level of our students. And then, yung teacher-made activity sheets, ito yung gusto kong gamitin. Ito yung gusto kong gamitin as intervention para ma-address yung mababang mastery level ng mga bata doon sa mga mahirap na topic sa physics. Then, ang magiging participants ng study ko ay yung mga grade 12 STEM students. Ang setting nito ay sa eskwelahan namin sa Ligao National High School. Ang coverage, tingnan nyo ito, ang coverage, 2 weeks lang. Yan. What do we mean here by 2 weeks, sir? Ang tanong ba, sir, gagawin mo po yung action research sa loob ng 2 weeks? Hindi po. Yung 2 weeks na pong yan po yung period kung kailan ko i-implement yung nagawa kong intervention. Okay, 2 weeks po yung gagamitin or i-allocate ko para i-implement yung intervention. And yung intervention na napili ko po ay yung teacher-made activity sheets in General Physics 1. So, next slide po tayo. Yan, ito po yung title na ginawa ko. Ano po? I made this action research in 2018. The effect of teacher-made activity sheets on the students' master level along critical contents in mechanics. By the way, this topic was approved by our school division research committee in Ligao City Division. Kasi kami din po kapag nag-propose po kami ng action research, nag-defend din po kami sa school level, then sa division level. Then may mga suggestions silang binibigay sa amin to improve our research title and the flow of our research. But if we decide to make a basic research, ang approval po niyan ay nasa region. Ang kagandahan po sa amin, sa DepEd, is that kapag maganda yung study, bibigyan po nila yan ng funding, gamit po ang Birth or Basic Education Research Fund Facility. And yours truly po, naka-avail po tayo dyan ng fund sa pag-implement ng mga action researches na po ito. Next po. So yan. Doon po sa title natin, ang title natin kanina ay The Effect of the Teacher-Made Activity Sheets in Physics. Gusto natin mapag-aralan kung ano pa yung epekto ng teacher-made. Pag sinabing teacher-made, ako yung teacher, ako yung gumawa ng activity sheet na yon para ma-improve yung master level ng mga estudyante doon sa critical contents in mechanics. So, in my case, dalawa lang yung problem ko. Dalawa lang yung in-approve na problem. Yung first problem, what is the master level of Ligao National High School grade 12 students, STEM students in critical mechanics content? So, pwede yang ma-measure gamit ang pretest. So, alamin ko muna, ano ba yung level ng mga mag-aaral pagdating sa pagkatuto ng mga topic sa physics. And I'm sorry, number 2 dapat siya, how do teacher-made activity sheets improve the students' master level on critical mechanics content? So, paano makakatulong yung teacher-made activity sheets sa pag-improve ng master level ng mga bata? Next slide po. Yan. So, alam na natin yung question kanina. Alam na natin yung problem kanina. So, dito na tayo sa cycle na kinonsider ko sa pagbuo ng aking action research. So, yeah, unang-una, we need to identify the problem or question. And alam na natin kanina yung question, di ba? Alam na natin yung title kanina. Then the next part is we need to make a plan for our research. We need to make a work plan. A timeline maybe. Para alam natin kailan tayo mag-start, kailan tayo matatapos sa paggawa ng ating action research. Sa amin, sa DepEd, we are required to submit our work plan, our timeline. Kasi dapat kapag sinabing action research, matapos lang siya sa loob ng 6 months. Kaya nga, action research dapat immediate yung action. Kapag 1 year, masyadong matagal na yun, disapprove yan. Dapat maikli lang, kaya nga action research eh. Next, collect the data. You have already your plan, then you have already your instruments, then you need already to implement. You need already to implement your study. You need to collect data through the use of your research instrument. In my case, I used pre and post test. Nag-interview din ako. I conducted focus group discussion. To triangulate the data. Kasi hindi pwedeng isa lang, dapat maganda, mas madami para makita mo talaga yung resulta kung maganda ba talaga or talaga may epekto. Kasi ako naman as a researcher, I always a fan of mixed method. I always combine the quantitative research method and qualitative research method. In my case, I use pre and post test. I have the mean score, the mean scores, Then after knowing the scores, I also ask the students, nakatulong ba yon through FGD and through interview? I also consider the journal entries. I let them to make journals para makita ko talaga yung talagang holistic para kumbaga magiging holistic yung approach natin sa pag-gather ng data. Next, we need to analyze, interpret data. We can use statistics in analyzing. We can have coding in terms of qualitative research. Pwede natin explore yun. Then after interpreting the data, we reflect. Ano ba? Ano ba yung resulta ng study natin? Nakatulong ba sa mga bata? Or baka mas nahirapan yung mga bata? So titingnan natin, hindi enough na nag-increase lang yung mastery level. Titingnan natin, significant ba yung increase? Nakatulong ba talaga? In terms of attitude, mas gumanda ba yung attitude nila, yung skill nila? Bago ba yung perception nila pagdating sa subject na ito? Or baka mas nahirapan sila? Then after having that, we need to share our findings. We need to take actions. So we can share our findings during our in-service training, our seminars, our maybe we can explore or we can attend different research conferences. It can be regional, national, international, depende kung saan tayo mag-qualify. And yun talaga ang pinaka-meat ng research. Dapat ang research natin hindi lang siya magtatapos sa loob ng library. Dapat hindi lang matapos sa pag-bind ng mga research. Hardbound na okay, na hindi ganun. Dapat we share our findings. We inform the public. Ito yung findings ko. Ito yung na-discover ko. So yun talaga yung pinaka-meat, yung pinaka-purpose ng study to contribute to the growth of knowledge. Next po. Yan. So this is my intervention. A while ago baga, di ba, na mention na natin yung title ng study because more on the effect of teacher-made activity sheets. So this is my activity sheet entitled An in Motion. So the objective of this study is to help our students to convert a verbal description of a physical situation involving uniform acceleration in one dimension into a mathematical description. So the content here is more on motion along horizontal line. So ito po yung isa sa mga activity sheets na ginawa ko. And yan pong picture, yan yung activity nila, yan yung ginagawa nila during our lesson. So, tapos na-implement lang sa loob ng isang araw yung activity sheet. Next po. Kalawang activity sheet na ginawa ko, ang title na po, Rolling Ball. Ang competency na ina-address po dito is to describe the motion using the concept of relative velocity in 2-dimension and 3-dimension. So I allow my students to make roller coaster models. Actually, this is a open inquiry activity. When we say open inquiry in science, po, di ba, we are using inquiry-based learning. So we have different levels in inquiry-based learning. So I use the highest level, which is the inquiry level, to our STEM students because these are STEM students. Dapat yung activity na ibinibigay sa mga estudyante should be challenging. Dapat hindi siya very simple, dapat challenging sa part ng mga estudyante natin. Next po. Next po. So we have the activity 3, activity sheet number 3, yung sa experiment. Now, this table po is my work plan. Yeah, this is my work plan. So as you notice po, tumagal lang siya actually yung pag-implement ng yan. So yung una, 2 weeks po yung submission approval ng research proposal kasi nagpapa-approve po kami ng yung development phase sa 1 month. Okay, nasa 1 month po yung development phase ng lesson. Then yung sa validation, of course, after having a development, it should be validated by the experts. ano po, dapat mag-validate po siya ng mga experts. Who are these experts? Maybe they are the content experts. They can be master teachers as well. They can be professors coming from university or colleges. So yan. Kasi we recognize na hindi naman talaga kumbaga may ibang tao na dapat mag-critique ng paper natin. So next is I mean ang minimin po natin na paper doon yung activity sheet, ano? Dapat kina-quality assure yung activity sheet. Chine-check yung content, tama ba yung content? Tama naka-anchor ba siya doon sa curriculum natin, tama ba? Yung mga instructions in terms of grammar, in terms of flow, nagpo-follow ba siya ng principle ng inquiry-based learning? So parang ganun. Then, the implementation. So sa akin, 1 month yung binigay ko dyan. Yung target ko talaga, 1 month, syempre, may allowance siya. But in reality, since 3 po yung activity sheet na nagawa ko, tumagal lang siya ng 2 weeks. Actually, 1 week, 1.5 week lang. Kasi yung isang module, kaya siyang matapos ng isang araw, then discussion kami, group presentation, more on, matatapos siya ng 1.5 week. Then, yun na. After implementing, I have already the data kasi madali naman makuha yung data. Test lang after the activity, after the lesson test. Then after the test ulit, test ulit. Then completion of research, action research. So nagsulat lang ako sa loob ng 1 week. Oo, 1 week lang naman kasi you have already the data. Basta focus ka lang, madali mo naman siya masulat. And then, yan. So I shared my findings through Learning Action Cell. In our school, we have our LEAP program or Learning Enhancement Activity Program and other research conferences. Next po. So yan, ito po yung format ni Action Research. Ang source po natin ito ay ang DepEd Order number 16 series of 2017. Of course, the first part is the context and rationale. Of course, kumbaga sa research, this is the introduction. Andito na yung mga literatures natin, studies natin, sasabay natin dyan. Kung titingnan nyo po yung format ni Action Research, sa binigay ni DepEd, based on DepEd Order number 16, series of 2017, wala pong literature, reviewed literature, or walang RRL or RRS. Sa basic research, meron po, Roman number 2 nila ay yung review of related literature and studies. But in Action Research, we have only the context and rationale. So ang isusulat natin dyan, ano yung basihan natin, ano yung basihan ko? In my case, ako yung gumawa ng study, no? Ano yung basihan ko sa paggawa ng problem? Okay, kanina sa kwento natin, sa napag-usapan rin kanina, we considered the master level of our students based on the result of the periodic examination. So doon natin yan isusulat. And also, we can look for different literature that can justify also our claim na ganito, mahirap talaga ito kasi dahil sa according to, at the same time, yung sa tingin mong strategy ang pwede mong magamit sa pag-address, pag-develop ng skill na yon. Next, action research question. We have already the action research question. Then the proposed innovation, intervention, and strategy. In my case, yung activity sheet, yung teacher-made activity sheet, yun po yung innovation ko, yun yung intervention ko, na sa tingin ko makakatulong para ma-address or masagutan yung research question. Then for Roman number 4, we have the action research methods. So it is very important that we define our participants. However, dapat alam natin and we follow also the ethics, the ethical standards in making research, in writing research. So dapat alam natin kung ilan ba yung edad ng mga estudyante natin. Dapat gender-friendly yung instrument natin. Dapat we seek approval from the authorities. In our case, in my case, I asked the approval of our school head and our superintendent, I also wrote letter addressed to the parents na yung mga estudyante ko ay magiging respondents ng study. Kasi yung iba sa kanila ay below 18. So it is very important that we make letter na naka-address sa parents nila kasi they are minor. Then data gathering method, dapat makapag-decide ka ano ba yung data gathering method mo. It can be quali, quanti, or mix. Then data analysis plan. Then yun na, yung action research work plan, yun yung table na pinakita ko sa inyo. And cost estimate, ilan ba yung gagastusin? Sa akin, nagastos lang ako ng 5,000 kasi more on activity sheet lang naman yun. Kasi sa DepEd, it is very important that we determine the cost estimate of our project, our research. Kasi kapag maganda, bibigyan po yan ng funding ng DepEd. Then plans for dissemination. So next po. Yan. So ito na lang siguro yung ma-share ko sa inyo as my tips for successful action research. Yeah. Number one, clearly define the problem. Actually talaga, ito yung struggle ng karamihan sa mga researcher. Ang hirap, kahit ako, nahihirapan din ako nito. Ano ba yung problem ko? So para malaman mo yung problem mo, punta ka ng classroom. As mentioned by Dr. Arofo, we can go to our classrooms. We can observe classes. As long as may permission tayo ng teacher at ng school head, we can observe classes. Or during our field study, we just observe classes. Or i-recall mo yung mga struggles mo nung estudyante ka pa. Ano ba yung mga topics na nahihirapan ka? Or you may ask teachers, ano ba yung mga common problems na experience ng mga teachers? Or you can ask the students, ano ba yung mga subject na nahihirapan? Ano ba yung mga struggles nila sa mga subjects na ito? So those are things na pwede mong paghugutan ng problem mo. Next, engage stakeholders. Again, we need to engage our stakeholders. In my case, I involve the students, of course. I informed the parents. I shared my findings through different conferences, and yun. Pero yung isang action research ko, I involved the LGU in developing that particular device. Next. Yeah. We need to set our objectives. Of course, it is very important that our objective should be smart. It should be clear and measurable. Remember that you will do your action research for just, I think, 4 to 6 months. But typically, dapat ma-implement siya sa loob lang siguro ng mga 3 to 4 months. Para may allowance ka rin sa pagsusulat ng paper. Then you need to plan carefully. It is very important that you make your timeline, you make your work plan. You consider also your cost estimates para guided ka kasi baka very ambitious na masyado yung study mo. You consider the entire province. Yun ang ginawa mong setting mo. Kinonsider mo yung lahat ng estudyante sa Albay province, which is it's possible. But you need more time, more resources. In my case, I just consider a single class. I just consider yung klase ko lang mismo sa STEM. Sila yung naging respondents ko. Next po. Yan. Consider the ethical consideration. We maintain the ethical consideration. We need to ensure that our research follow ethical guidelines, including obtaining informed consent, protecting confidentiality, respecting the rights of participants. And if you want to deal with IPs, indigenous people, may mga offices din na kailangan mong sulatan, kailangan mong magpaalam doon sa mga offices na yon. I think the dissertation of one of my favorite teacher, Dr. Rico, yung dissertation ni ma'am, ay more on IPs. Yung respondents po ni Ma'am ay sa IPs. So may mga offices din na dapat na magpaalam. So we need to follow that. We need to follow that. Then be flexible and adaptive. So our action research is an iterative process. Be open to adjusting your approach. Ito yung kadalasan naging problema din natin. Masyado tayong nai-in love sa study natin to the point na ayaw na nating baguhin yung study natin. Isipin mo, you made your research for almost a month, 2 months, 3 months, tapos andito na sa research advisor. May mga suggestions sa research advisor na sa tingin niya makakatulong dun sa study mo, or kahit yung sa panel, yung mga research panel natin, may mga gusto silang i-incorporate doon sa study mo, nasa tingin naman natin makakatulong, pero ikaw na sobrang nagmahal ka doon sa study mo, and ayaw mo nang baguhin, and ayaw mo na, kumbaga nasasaktan ka na kapag may mga sinasuggest or may gustong saling baguhin doon sa study mo. So yun, dapat maging flexible tayo, and wag tayong ma-inlove doon sa mga study natin. But open lang tayo. Next po. Document everything. Of course, it is very important that we document everything. We consider all possible records, all possible documents, including the data, the result of the test, the examinations, our observations. Maybe we can take pictures, videos sa amin in lesson study. Nagka-capture kami ng video para makita talaga namin para ma-describe talaga namin yung behavior ng mga students when it comes to implementing a particular lesson. And then yung mga reflection ng mga bata, importante yon. Like also yung mga projects, kahit yung mga outputs nila, importante yon. Wag nating babaliwalain yon. Hindi gusto sabihin na yung instrument natin ay pre and post test lang, wala nang value yung mga output. Dapat meron pa rin. Baka mayroon tayong pwedeng pagputang doon sa mga outputs na yon. So it's very important that we document everything and seek feedback and validation. In my case, I asked the assistance of experts, the knowledgeable others, to validate my instrument, to validate my activity sheets. So that alam din natin na tama yung direction natin, kasi mahirap na yung andun ka na sa kalagitnaan, malapit ka nang matapos, tapos mali pala yung instrument. Kasi usually, kadalasan ang nagiging problem ni researcher, yung na-inlove siya masyado doon sa study niya, tapos naging iba yung instrument niya, iba na yung nami-measure niya, iba yung nakukuha niyang data. Yung instrument niya, hindi niya nasasagot yung question. Kaya kailangan natin din ng validators para makita kung tama ba yung instrument na ginagamit natin, because we need to consider our time, your time. Next. Reflect on the process. So sa action research is more on reflection. Ano ba yung experiences natin? Ano ba yung impact nung intervention natin sa mga bata? Nagtulong ba yun? Napadali ba yung learning process nila? Mas nag-enjoy ba sila? Or baka mas naging boring? So those are the considerations that we need to consider. Number 9, share knowledge and learnings. Disseminate your findings, of course, as we said a while ago, dapat yung study natin, yung research natin, hindi lang siya magtatapos doon sa pag-hardbound. Hindi lang siya matatapos sa pag-print, sa submission. We need to share our findings. Yun ang pinakagusto ko sa research. We share our findings. Kasi nakakatulong tayo sa pag-grow ng knowledge. At the same time, sustain the change. Implement and monitor the changes resulting from your action research. Ako, kahit yung study ko is, kung ginawa ko 2018, ginagamit ko pa siya until now, and still effective pa rin siya. And baka kapag pag ginamit natin siya, so may ma-discover tayo, meron pa siyang i-improve. Or we can propose another material, another program that can help our students to improve their skill, to improve their mastery level or maybe we can consider also other topics in other subjects, in other learning competencies in physics. Next. Maybe I will end my discussion here, my sharing today. Research is to see what everybody else has seen and to think what nobody else has thought. Sometimes we as teachers, as pre-service teachers, alam naman natin, na-observe natin yung mga issue, mga problema na kinakaharap ng ating mga mag-aaral sa loob ng classroom. Lahat naman tayo naging estudyante, di ba? May mga instances na nahihirapan tayong matuto and nakikita natin yung lahat. Pero hindi lahat nakakakita sa solusyon na pwedeng makatulong para mas ma-improve or ma-address yung issue na na-identify natin. We can develop programs, we can make learning resources, we can solve problems, we can take actions. We can take actions to solve and address these problems. So yun ang pinaka-goal ni Action Research actually. Simple lang naman ang pinaka-goal ni Action Research. Ma-solve yung problem. Ito yung problem, ito yung action na gusto kong gawin para matulungan yung mga mag-aaral natin. Para magkaroon tayo ng mga competitive, magagaling na mga mag-aaral sa ating mahal na bansang Pilipinas. So thank you very much po for your time and for your effort in listening to me. Thank you very much po.
Thank you very much, Sir Romel Peralta, for giving clear direction to effectively conduct an action research. Let us give Sir Romel a virtual clap. Yan. Okay, again, we will have a question and answer session to delve deeper into the subject matter. Those in the Zoom meeting may click the raise hand icon, and if called, please say your name and affiliation before asking a question. Our participants on Facebook Live may type their names, affiliations, and questions, which will be shared by our facilitators. Right, so are there questions from the audience? You may click the raise hand button. To get the ball rolling, I would like to ask a question first. Okay, so sir, you mentioned a while ago in your talk, no, that the researches should just not end up in the library or just be left in the bookshelves. So usually when we say dissemination, the thinking is that we attend conferences, but there's also a need to disseminate the results to the students, to the teachers, to the parents. So how can teachers effectively communicate the results of their action research to such stakeholders, the parents, the students, the administrators?
In our case, in Ligaw National High School, we have this what we call Learning Enhancement Program, and we have also Learning Action Cell. In Learning Action Cell, we share our findings, we communicate with the teachers. We have also opportunity to share our findings with the parents during the assembly. So we have plenty of avenues in which we can share our findings as researcher. Kasi dapat, ako talaga naniniwala akong dapat hindi lang talaga natatapos ang research sa library, sa pag-print, sa pag-hardbound. So we need to share our findings with our stakeholders. And kailangan din nilang malaman yon because it is very important. Kasi napaka-sensitive ng clients ng DepEd, mga bata. Ito yung mga future leaders. Ito yung mga future manpower. Ito yung kinabukasan ng ating bayan. So dapat talaga lahat ng mga tao na makakatulong sa pag-improve nito ay dapat makinig sa mga findings natin as researcher. We have also another avenue, which is the Research, Innovation, and Technology Fair. Every year we are doing this. However, ito yung activity din ng mga bata, ng mga estudyante namin because in Ligao National High School, we required our students to make researches. Then we invite the different stakeholders like Mayor Fernando V. Gonzalez, the LGU, the DepEd, the teachers, and of course, there is also an opportunity in which we as teachers can share our findings. So we can make hindi gustong sabihin na mag-share tayo ng findings natin, attend tayo sa mga conferences, doon lang 'yon. For me, ang pinaka-importante is we share our findings dito sa ground, dito mismo sa eskwelahan. Like kapag nag-share ako ng activity sheets ko, maybe may funding galing sa school, galing sa DepEd na pwedeng makatulong para mas magamit siya. So, gano'n. We share our findings not only in national, international conferences to gain certificate, but we share our findings to our students, teachers, and parents.
Right, talagang malayo ang mararating ng action research. Sir, can you give examples of successful classroom-based action research projects that have led to positive changes in teaching and learning? May mga ganun po ba na talagang positive yung naging effect nito sa teaching and learning?
Yes po. Yung share ko po ngayong action research, maganda yung resulta doon sa performance ng mga bata. Yung performance nila sa periodic exam nag-improve. And another one, yung isang action research na ginawa ko in 2019 about PyTrex, Puzzle for Inventive Thinking and Reflective Exploration in Science. Nag-develop ako doon ng isang material na ginagamit ng mga estudyante sa pag-aaral ng ibang topics sa physics like in projectile motion. And then, nag-improve. May significant improvement doon sa performance ng mga bata. And luckily, that particular innovation was recognized by Department of Science and Technology and was awarded. Yun na nga po, yung na-mention kanina during doon po sa bio note ko that it was funded by DOST and I was awarded as the national champion in Innovac Search for most innovative learning resource material in science. So because of the significant improvement on students' conceptual understanding in master level, which includes also their skills, their process skills and attitudes toward the subject. So significant yung learning experience, na-recognize yun ng iba-ibang organizations and indeed, it make differences sa buhay ng mga mag-aaral sa amin sa Ligao National High School.
Right, thank you very much, sir. So talagang sa research, it can really help solve problems in the classroom, pero marami ding incentives sa research po, may pera sa research. Then may mga opportunities talaga to grow. Thank you, sir. So from our audience participants, are there questions that you would like to raise? Wala pang nakaka-type sa ating Zoom. Pero earlier, may mga nag-post ng questions that were not answered because of the limited time. So maybe we can go back to those questions. Okay, there was a question here from Miss Leia Dautil of Baal Community College. What other resources and support are available to pre-service teachers who want to engage in action research as part of teacher training? Available resources and support.
Maybe pupunta muna tayo doon sa school natin. School niyo po. Na ano ba yung mga available muna sa locality? Maybe we can read these researches, yung mga nagawa na dati ng mga previous students ng school niyo po. Ano yung mga studying yun? Then after reading those things, after reading those researches, we can explore the internet world. We can use Google Scholar. We have different journals, Philippine journals, and other applications and websites. so that we can also read relevant literature studies. Or maybe we can also go to different library. Ako kasi po, as a researcher, mas gusto ko munang pumupunta ako sa library. Ayaw ko munang search agad sa internet, search agad sa mga applications or website. Gusto ko, doon muna ako sa library para makita ko yung context natin mismo sa lokal. Kasi kapag doon tayo muna sa mga internet materials, mas naguguluhan tayo, especially if we encounter international researches. They have different format, they have different approaches. Doon muna tayo sa lokal natin, sa library natin. Tingnan muna natin, baka may mga ganda studies and literatures na pwede natin i-continue, i-improve. Tingnan natin yung mga recommendation. Yun ang technique doon. Tingnan natin yung mga recommendation doon sa mga researches na available sa school natin kasi baka meron tayong pwedeng pagugutan doon. And then, after reading all of those, consider other resources, internet, journals. May mga published journals sa mga ganda. Pwede natin yung basahin sa DOSP, In-Depth, we have, and other resources, I think. Consider all of those.
All right, thank you, sir. Another question from Mary Jean Vargas, GMVCC. We are on the process of making our research and still we are hoping that we can survive making it. Can you please give us some pieces of advice, method, and techniques to have a successful outcome of our research?
Number one, sigurong kailangan natin as researcher, number one, lakas ng loob. Kailangan natin ng lakas ng loob in the sense that we might encounter different problems along the way in dealing with our research. We need to become diligent. We need to become diligent. We need many literatures. We need to consider a lot of things. And of course, financial, ano po, sometimes kung very ambitious yung study mo, gagawa ka ng device, kailangan talaga ng mataas na budget. But if you will just need maybe activity sheets, module, printing lang naman mga gastos natin doon. So yun, we need to become diligent enough to read and read more articles. We need to, maybe in the sense na dapat may direction din tayo. And of course, dapat yung motivation mo sa sarili mo dapat napakataas. Kasi kung hindi ka inspired, hindi ka motivated sa pagsusulat ng research, mas probably hindi magiging successful. Kung ang mindset mo ay para lang makapass ng project, hindi yun magiging successful. Dapat ang isipin natin, paano tayo makakatulong sa ating mga pinakamamahal na mga estudyante. Ang iba sa mga estudyante natin sa DepEd, sa public school, naglalakad 5 kilometers, 3 kilometers. Na-experience ko yan when I was assigned in a coastal school. Some of our students are walking very far. Yung iba di kumakain, chichirya ang pang-lunch. Yung iba nagbabangka pa. So, yun ang mga pwede nating paghugutan na tayo as teachers, we can help them. We can help our students to achieve their dreams in life. Maybe one of the solution is action research. Doon tayo, dapat ma-motivate tayo. Dapat tayo mismo ma-motivate mismo na itong ginagawa natin, itong action research natin ay malaking tulong. Tulong na pwedeng maging umpisa ng pagbabago ng buhay ng ating mga mag-aaral. Tingnan nyo, kapag nakadevelop tayo ng isang material, isang activity sheet, may 50, may 50 students sa loob ng room. Sabihin natin, 80% noon ay natulungan na activity sheet na ito. O natulungan ng program na ito. 40 students, 50 students. Ito mga mag-aaral na ito ay mag-i-improve, mas matututo, para mas ma-achieve nila, mas maabot nila yung pangarap nila sa buhay. So, nun, dapat tayo mismo motivated para sa mga estudyante natin.
All right, thank you, sir. There's one question in the comment box from Angela Bolo Baal Community College. You're recognized, Miss Angela. Could you please use your microphone?
Good morning po, sir.
Go ahead.
Good morning.
Um, may I ask po if is it necessary po to include po or use yung specific intervention po ng isang research title and instead po of using general words like po game-based learning, a tool in enhancing students' scientific literacy po, instead po gamitin po yung game-based learning, pwede po ba namin gamitin yung specific intervention po? For example po, the utilization of mahusay board game in enhancing students' scientific literacy po.
Yes, in action research, you can do that. We can include the specific name of your intervention program or activity. We can do that.
Thank you po.
All right, another question from the Q&A box. How did the action research improve the research culture of the teachers? How did the action research improve the research culture of the teachers?
In Ligao National High School, we master teachers, we always make action research kasi part yun ng KRE namin, key result area. While for the proficient teachers, teachers 1 to 3, they are also encouraged to do or to make action researches. Wala namang problema doon kahit anong position natin, as long as as long as our purpose is to help our students to improve their learning. In Ligao National High School, we are implementing lesson study, and this is a kind of research actually. Matagal na ito, almost 10-15 years na namin ginagamit. So kapag involved tayo sa research as teachers and we keep making research. Actually, ako every year ako talaga gumagawa ng action research. Mas nakakatulong yung mga teachers kapag improve ng performance ng mga bata. At the same time, we in Ligao National High School, we embrace the culture of excellence, especially in research. We also help our students. We equip them. We develop them the necessary skills for them to become researchers. So, hindi lang teacher dapat magaling sa research, pati yung mga estudyante. And kami, that's why a while ago I mentioned that we have Research Innovation and Technology Fair, wherein the students can share their inventions, they can share their research outputs. Same with the teachers. We have also an avenue, like in our LAC sessions, we can share our research findings. So, sa amin, hindi naman big deal na masyado ang research. It is already a way of life. It is already part of our function. In-embrace na namin ito. In-embrace na ito ng mga teachers, ng mga estudyante na wala lang, normal lang ang paggagawa ng action research kasi part yun. Sabi ko kanina, the main purpose of research is not just to submit it to our advisor, to our research professor, but our aim is to contribute to the growth of knowledge at the same time, to improve the performance of our students. It's more on self-motivation, it's more on having an inspiration on how to help our students. So parang ganon. It's a way of life. Research making, excellence in research is already embedded in the culture of Ligao National High School. So yun pa.
Right, thank you. There's a question from the Facebook Live, no? From Parker Alvin Bahado. Sir, APA format po ba gamit ninyo? I think DepEd context ito.
Yes po. Ang format po natin ay APA sa amin, APA. Depende po kasi sa division kung ano ang ginagamit, kung sa DepEd po. Depende po doon sa Division Research Committee. But in our case, we are using APA format.
Okay, thank you. So any more questions from the participants? Okay, I think there are no more questions. So we thank the participants for their enthusiasm. We will now award the certificate of commendation to our speaker. The citation reads, BU College of Education, Project Ripples, Association of Local Colleges and Universities, ALCO 5, BUSE Research Office, BUSE Extension Office. Certificate of commendation is hereby presented to Romel Carl R. Peralta, PhD, for sharing his invaluable insights as resource speaker on the topic, the process of conducting action research during the Action Research for Pre- and In-Service Teachers, a webinar held on October 11, 2023 via Zoom and Facebook Live. Signed, Ryan G. De La Torre, MA, Research Coordinator, Rafael B. Bohemia, MAED, Extension Coordinator. Signed, Marcia Corazon Pirico, PhD, Project Leader. Signed, Lorna M. Miña, PhD, Dean of BUSE. Signed, Jovert M. Ofracio, ED, President, ALCO 5. Thank you very much, sir. Please give a big round of applause to Mr. Romel Peralta. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much din po, Sir Ryan, and to the entire member of the committee, to the Dean, Dr. Minya, to Ma'am Rico, Sir Bemia, Mama Rocco, to the entire BUSE family, BU family. Thank you very much po.
All right, sir. At this juncture, we would like to acknowledge the presence of the Dean of BU College of Education, Dr. Lorna M. Miña. She will be giving us a message. Please give Dr. Miña a warm welcome.
Good morning. All right, good morning to the organizers and the attendees of this webinar on action research, particularly our project leader, Dr. Marcia Corazon Rico, our extension coordinator, Professor Buemia, to all the component leaders, particularly Dr. Nori de Chavez. Thank you for this opportunity to give a message to our participants. Now, I would like also to commend the speakers this morning for giving an enlightening talk and discussion about action research, which I think is something that a lot of people are afraid of. A lot of people are very apprehensive about research. Now, I was tasked to give an inspirational message. However, I think you are already inspired by the talks of our former students. They themselves are inspiration. And I am very proud to say that our speakers this morning are products of the College of Education. Okay, so Mr. Peralta, for example, has been with us, and this is still undergoing the studies on educational foundations, and so I am very happy that he has gone a long way in terms of action research. So congratulations, Sir Romel. He himself is an inspiration. So I hope our participants were able to capture the essence of what Sir Romel has discussed this morning. So maybe I'll just add a few for our students and for our professors in the local community colleges. As mentioned, action research should not be something that we should be afraid of, because it should be something that's already a part of our profession. Actually, it has been part of the teaching learning process ever since, only that maybe we have not called it research. We have not called it action research. But ever since once a teacher stands in front of the class, and once the teacher gets inside the classroom, he tries to find ways to make the teaching and learning process efficient and effective for the students. So in a way, we have been doing that only that we have not formalized the process of doing a research. Like, for example, when we try to find out why the scores of our students are very low in when we give a summative exam, then we try to find out, and then we do something with the way we discuss the lesson or the way we implement our lesson. So in a way, that is something that is done to solve the problem of the teaching and learning. Only that before, we do not formally call it an action research, or we do not formalize writing, no, the findings that we have. So with the new curriculum, wherein action research is already part of the curriculum for teacher education, and the students are already required to come up with an action research. And now that the teachers in the field are already encouraged to do action research, we are formalizing the process. The purpose of which is to give our students an opportunity to develop that critical thinking, the critical mind of our students. Because if we are not going to do that, then what we will develop are only teachers who will be just implementing the lessons that are designed without minding what is happening, or whether the lessons really effectively result to learning among our students. No? So with the conduct of action research, we are making sure that the students in our class are actually learning. No? So I think the best that we can do, since it's now already part of our teaching learning task, inside the classroom, pre-service, and in-service, I think the best thing that we can do is embrace it. Sabi nga ni Sir Romel, he has embraced the culture of research. And we can do it not by thinking about action research as something very difficult, because if we do that, nagko-close kaagad ang ating mind. So maybe it's more of opening our minds. Sabi nga ni Sir, maging flexible tayo, then we open our minds to different possibilities, and then try to embrace or accept the idea that research is part of our life. Even if we are not in school, even in everyday living, there are always problems that we encounter. And so we are developing the skill of our students, not only of the teachers, but also our students in the field, to be critical minded, so that when they are confronted with problems, they can easily find solutions to that. So that is actually the main essence of research. It's not for us to be able to come up with detailed analysis or detailed report of the research, not really to make the students feel pressured, but basically to develop our critical thinking, so that even when we go out of the classroom, even our students go out of the classroom, they will be able to apply what the critical thinking in solving their daily life problems. Okay, so I would like to commend the organizers of this webinar and the participants for taking part in this kind of activity. I love the questions asked by our students, which means that they are really thinking seriously about the topics that are shared by our speakers. To everyone, my congratulations, and may you be able to enjoy the process of doing action research. So everyone, good morning once again. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mina, for the inspiring words and for the insights that you shared. So before we conclude our program, Professor Rafael B. Buemia, the Extension Coordinator of the Bicol University College of Education, will provide us with important reminders and share the way forward for our participants. Please give a virtual clap to Professor Buemia.
Hi, hello, good morning. Hello po, good morning. Thank you, Sir Ryan. And let me first say thank you, Dean, for that wonderful message I would like to say thank you also to Sir Romel. We used to work together during when I was still in DepEd Albay, and he's one of our very good trainer sa science po. Thank you very much also Ma'am Sheila Arroco and for sharing also your expertise on action research. Ma'am Sheila is a professor of research, actually, academic research, but she has been involved with almost 3 years mentoring program for action research where we help in-service teachers of the Department of Education, Schools Divisions Office of Albay. And I think we were able to help them realize really that action research is part of our work as teachers. And we hope that our participants, you, the more than 1,700 actually, almost last night, I closed the registration only early this morning, and I think there were more than 1,700 who registered. I hope that with your attendance in this webinar, we help you change your perspective and belief about doing action research. It's part of our course, it's part of our program. So we need to embrace it, okay? Kasi wala namang pumilit sa atin na ako yung naniniwala na walang pumilit sa inyo na pumasok sa kurso ng pagtuturo. Ano po? Okay? So 1,700 today have this change of perspective pagdating sa action research. So meron lang po akong 3 reminders na napakahalaga para sa inyo. Ay, 4 pala. Sorry, First is, please check your email which you have indicated in the attendance. Currently po, when I look at the online attendance for this morning, we have already more than 1,700. So I think marirealize natin na yung lahat ng nag-pre-register po, sa tingin ko lahat sila ay nag-attend. Ano po, may iba-iba tayong platform, nandito sa Zoom, meeting room, tapos merong Bicol University, Facebook page, at sa BUEMD. Ano po. So, makiusap po ako na i-check ang inyong email kasi ipinadala na po ng BUSI Extension yung link para sa evaluation. Mahalaga po na ma-evaluate nyo po yung nangyaring webinar kasi makakatulong po yun sa ating mga resource person. Ipapadala namin yung pag-evaluate nyo sa kanila. Tapos makakatulong din po yun sa amin para ma-improve kung paano namin dinadala ang mga ganitong serbisyo sa aming mga kliyente. Ano po? So, accomplish the online evaluation link. Ito po ay sasarahan namin bukas, 12 noon, October 12, kasi kinakailangan naming i-download gawa ng report. Yun po yung dahilan kung bakit may deadline. Ano po? So 12 noon bukas, halimbawa 1 o'clock kayo gumawa, hindi na po siya mako-consider. Tapos mahalaga po yung pag-accomplish nyo sa kadahilan ng ipapadala po namin yung e-certificate doon sa mga nakapag-accomplish po ng evaluation. Ano po? Bigyan nyo po kami ng siguro mga 1 buwan kasi marami po kayo, 1,007, gagawan po yun ng isahang certificate. Sorry, para isahan na rin lang po yung pagpapadala sa inyo ng sabay-sabay po. So mga 1 buwan po ang hinihingi naming palugit. Now, maraming nagtanong kanina, ano pa ba ang pwede nating maibigay na tulong sa inyong mga pre-service teachers? Hahayaan ko na muna yung mga in-service teachers kasi sila, yung Department of Education, merong regular na tulong talaga. Okay? Maliban po doon sa binanggit na ni Sir Romel, na pwede kayong makipag-usap sa mga teachers nyong dati, pwedeng bisitahin nyo yung mga pinanggalingan yung senior high school, mag-consult sa mga dating teachers nyo doon. Napag-isipan po ng team ng Project Ripple sa pamumuno ng aming project leader, si Dr. Rico, kasama ang component leader, si Dr. Norilyn D. Chavez, at si Sir Angelo Candelaria, na bumuo ng FB group para sa inyo. Tinawag namin yung FB group na Learning Circle on Classroom Action Research. Ito po ay open na. Nandoon na po siya sa Facebook. Nandito po yung QR code. Kung nakikita nyo, kunan nyo lang po ng picture yung QR code, or yung walang pang take ng QR code, nandyan po yung link. Or pwedeng i-search nyo lang po yung pamagat, Learning Circle on Classroom Action Research. You send your friend's request para mai-add namin kayo. Ito po ay invitation, hindi po siya requirement ha. Hindi po siya requirement na kinakailangang parang napipilitan. Gusto namin po na voluntaryo po kayong makilahok, kasi ito yung nakikita naming pwede pa naming magawa para sa inyo. Magiging members po dito kami at ang ating dalawang resource person. Tapos, hihikayatin namin yung iba pang faculty members ng College of Education, yung mga kilala rin naming teachers sa DepEd na kung gusto nilang sumali para po makibahagi sa gagawin nating paglalakbay. Ano po? Okay? Nandyan po, kinuha na po ng aming technical staff ng BUEMD, si Marl. Thank you, Marl. Inilagay na po ni Marl yung link para doon sa ating FB group. Ano po? Okay? Gagagawa ko pa lang nito, pero inilagay ko na po doon yung makahanapin nyo na kasi. Meron na pong dalawang DepEd memo na nandoon. Yung guidelines on the management of research, tapos yung BERA, yung Basic Education Research Agenda, nandoon na rin po. Ano po? So, yung mga susunod pa pong makukuha naming relevant materials na makatulong sa inyo, ilalagay din po namin doon. Pero balikan ko po yung suggestion, very practical suggestion, tip ng ating experts sa action research from Ligao National High School, Senior High School Department. Ang sabi niya, ang pinakamadali lang naman na paraan ay kung pwedeng pumunta kayo sa mga libraries. Ano po? Ang Bicol University, pangungunahan ko na po ang ating research coordinator na nandito, pero ang aming research office po ay napakarami din pong mga nagawa ng researches, at ito po ay open sa mga estudyante namin. Kung pupunta kayo doon, kung wala naman sigurong gumagamit ng opisina, ng research office namin, pwede kayong magbasa ng mga nandoong materials na po. Ano po? Okay? Maganda nga talaga yung suggestion ni Sir Romel na mas mabuti po na wag munang you go directly online kasi ma-overwhelm talaga kayo. Ano po? Mas mabuti na kunin muna natin yung context natin dito, tapos pag nakita na po natin yung context natin, pwede na nating tingnan kung kumusta naman yung context sa ibang bansa. Ano po? So yun. So I hope na nakatulong kami sa inyo, at ito pong susunod nating kabanata ng paglalakbay, itong ang FB group, ay sana sumali rin po kayo. Ano po? Okay? So ulitin ko po ha, paki-check ang inyong email kasi ipinadala po ng BUSI Extension Office yung link para sa evaluation. Kanina, nang tiningnan ko po yung evaluation, meron na pong nakapag-evaluate ng 110. Continuing po ang pag-monitor namin nito kasi sasarahan po namin by October 12 noon time bukas yung link ng ating online evaluation. Then kung sino lang po ang nakapag-evaluate during up to that time, sila po ang ibibigay naming listahan sa gagawa po noong certificate at magpapadala po sa inyo. So maraming salamat po, and ibabalik ko na po ito sa ating MC. Sir Ryan, thank you very much po.
Thank you, Professor Buemia, for the worthwhile reminders and prospects. Lastly, to offer closing remarks, we have Dr. Norilyn O. Chavez, the component leader of Pananaliksik. Please give her a warm welcome.
Thank you, Sir Ryan. Good morning, everyone. As component leader of Pananaliksik, it is my pleasure to give the closing remarks for this webinar. Indeed, action research is a highly relevant and fulfilling academic endeavor that promises to deliver gains and improvements in the teaching learning process, or in the quality of teaching and learning. At this point, allow me first to convey my thanks and appreciation for our resource persons, Dr. Sheila Arroco and Dr. Romel Carl Peralta, for the unselfish sharing of their time, knowledge, and experiences in the field of action research. We are also thankful for the many individuals whose support, assistance, motivation, and encouragement made this activity possible. Of course, to our Dean, Dr. Lorna M. Minya, the Project Ripples team, Dr. Marcia Corazon P. Rico, Professor Rafael B. Buemia, Professor Angelo P. Candelaria, and Dr. Henny P. Lumibao. Special thanks to the BU Admissions Office for the accommodation, BU CPRO and EMD for the technical assistance and live streaming, to ALCO 5 headed by Dr. Jobert M. Ofrasio for the continuing engagement and active partnership. Of course, we highly commend our very able webinar facilitator and BUSE Research Coordinator, Sir Ryan De La Torre. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation to be the webinar facilitator and at the same time to co-sponsor this activity. So I think Sir Pop, we would like to award also a certificate to Sir Ryan for being our webinar facilitator. Sir Pop. Okay, so anyway, thank you so much again, Sir Ryan, for the commendable hosting of this webinar. And lastly, of course, we would like to really thank our participants for the strong virtual presence and active engagement. Our pre and in-service teachers from all the Bicol region and beyond, and even beyond. Your full participation in this webinar would entitle you to a certificate as explained a while ago. So please do not forget to accomplish the evaluation. So with all this, I'd like to say thank you so much and God bless us all.
Thank you very much, Dr. De Chavez, for the kind and encouraging words. Okay, so at this juncture, we also want to extend our sincere gratitude to all our participants for joining us today. And we hope that this webinar enriches your understanding of action research. Thank you all for your attention and active participation. Let us now commence this educational journey and may it be a valuable experience for all of us. All the best, everyone. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.